Welcome back to the Comics Aficionados live on Thinking Critical YouTube. Your Saturday morning delight is back, and we're going to have some fun talking about some comic books. We'll get into some of the mangas today and all that kind of stuff, and should be a good show. We've got returning the man behind Popeye culture, Josh Bonanno. How you doing, Josh?
What's up, Wes? I'm doing well. Today's going to be a fun day. I'm here with you guys, so I'm not working. We got Royal Rumble today, so yeah, let's do it.
Dude, I see you're sporting your Harry Potter hat, but I thought you were a Hufflepuff guy.
No, I'm a Ravenclaw guy.
If anybody was Hufflepuff to the core, it was going to be you.
Nah, Hufflepuffs are gay, so no.
Maybe Sully's a Hufflepuff.
Actually, I could see, despite my comment, I could see Sully being a Hufflepuff.
Exactly.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I don't like the tone.
I love Harry Potter. There's Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Right, and you all fly in your brooms. You got a sword and hat. You got like a magic stick and jelly beans that taste like earwax. I get it. All right. I tried with those books. I couldn't do it.
Have you seen the movies?
No.
They're re-releasing the first one in August, dude.
Oh, maybe I'll go see it.
Might be a nice place to take the old lady.
Hey, you know, like, hey, she almost dragged me to see Twilight, like part 4, because she was like, will you go see Twilight with me? And I'm like, of course I will, because you won't want to watch my movies if I say no to your movies. So,
how long have you been with this woman? It's like 8 years. Twilight's been a long time. Huh?
4 months.
Well, Twilight came out a long time ago. What the hell?
No, it was a re-release around, right around. I think it was in December. Was it? Yeah, and there was a theatrical re-release, all of them on its. I think it was the anniversary. Does anyone in the chat know? But yeah, I was on the hook to go to part 4, and she wasn't feeling well, so I was like, oh god, yay!
You got out of it.
Yeah. And because it's funny because I love vampire movies, and I'm like, well, technically this is a vampire movie. I should walk into it and make an opinion, you know.
So you've never seen any of the Twilights?
None of them. But I did watch the 50 Shades of Grey, and I know one is a rip-off fanfic of the other. They proved that in court.
Man. Josh, you a Twilight guy?
No. I watched Twilight with my ex, and when it was over, I said that was the worst thing I've ever seen. And my ex was like, I loved it. So I was like,
oh my goodness. Crap. You know, I know Josh got better chasing vampires. He's a big Buffy and Angel fan.
That's right.
So me too. So that's where it's at. There was a fun joke Joss Whedon wrote in the comic book, Buffy season 8, and Buffy said to Twilight, the big bad, my vampire was cooler.
Yep.
Classic Buffy line.
Agreed.
Man, so what kind of gay are you, Josh? You don't like Twilight? You don't like Beyonce?
I don't know.
Like,
I'm apparently like the most hated gay within the gay community. Like I'm always, pissing off the gay community. So who knows? I lean conservative. that doesn't bode well. I don't like stereotypical gay things. It's just I'm the odd man out, but it's fine.
The only gay thing you like is,
yeah, sure. That is the answer. The real qualification of
that's the only tie that binds, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So how's the Popeye culture going? I know you're still doing the floppy drop and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so it's going well. So Tuesdays we typically have a rotation of shows. My schedule's been a little crazy. I got a puppy towards the end of last year, so trying to get him to not be a little terror. He's getting there. But usually Tuesday we do rotations, and then every Thursday we do floppy drop, where we'll talk about that week's releases and what was good, what wasn't, what are they thinking, what should they be thinking. But yeah, I had to take a breather from comics for a while because I was just getting too angry with what was out there. But things are getting better now, so good stuff.
DC hasn't been bad for a couple years.
Yeah, no, DC's been building some really good stuff ever since they kind of shifted to all in. So good stuff there. Marvel, we'll see.
I could see you owning like a little Shar-Pei with a pink mohawk or something.
No, I got a Doberman.
A full size or a mini?
No, a full size. This is my third Dobie.
Dog, dude.
Yeah,
Dobermans are the best.
Yeah, so I got a blue Dobie. His name is River. He's a ham.
Man. Yeah. Not Heartbreaker or Widowmaker or something? Good?
No.
Some type of murder name?
No, my first Dobie was Hurricane, but I was younger.
Our Doberman was Rainflower.
Rainflower?
Yes, as you can tell, my uncle who gave the dog to us was a fucking hippie.
I was gonna say, was he a hippie Dobie?
Yes, he absolutely was. So you're excited for the Rumble, huh? It's the first time on Netflix, right, dude?
Is it on Netflix where they're airing it?
No.
I think it's on ESPN.
Aired it on Netflix here. I guess it's ESPN where
you
guys are.
Yeah, so ESPN here. Yeah, I gave in.
Unless you have a VPN.
Yeah, I gave in and subscribed. I love Royal Rumble. Even when I wasn't really keeping up with wrestling, I would always come back and watch Royal Rumble. So looking forward to it. But
are you in my camp where you think there's too many Rumbles now? There should just be the men's Royal Rumble, and they should probably give the women their own event, because 2 Royal Rumbles in one night takes up like 2/3 of the card.
Yep, I feel like you should have 3 shows, since they're moving to 2 nights for events anyways. For some of them, I think you should have 2 nights for Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and SummerSlam. Leave it at that.
Man. So who do you think's going to win, dude?
I mean, everyone's saying Braun Breaker or Roman Reigns, but I don't know. I don't think they need it. Both of them are kind of already up there in that top tier card anyways. So I'd say pick one of your people that's not quite there at that level yet. Let them win, because this is the thing you can kind of justify them
Grande
winning.
Americana?
Sure, he's over. But I think a lot of people deserve some pushes,
LA Knight?
LA Knight's probably the most overdue guy other than Finn Balor.
Yeah, it's too bad he's like 48 years old.
I know, man. Like they kind of wasted that, but
yeah.
And then
I'm assuming it's going to be Braun Breaker.
Yeah, I would like for them to go all in on Obafemi, but they won't.
He hasn't really debuted yet. Well, I guess he showed up on a couple of cards, but he just now started.
Yeah, but he did that spot with Cody where he just slapped him around the ring. So
I don't like Cody, but anybody slapping Cody's good to me, though.
Fair. Man. And I think Liv's got the women's. So
she sucks. She's not a good wrestler.
Liv Morgan? I think she's a good character, though. Nah, she's not awful. She's all right.
Terrible. This isn't the 80s, dude. You need to be able to wrestle nowadays.
I mean, in that case, then Asuka should be winning like half the damn titles. Like the new girl, Kendall Gray, I think that's kind of on the NXT. I can't wait to see what she does in a few years.
Man, you know what's weird? So remember, it was $9.99 for the WWE Network, and you got all the PLEs, pay-per-views, or whatever. Now to get it, you have to spend $30 for the ESPN thing, correct? Where Dylan no longer has to spend $80 on pay-per-views for UFC, he gets it for $8.99.
Craziness.
It's great.
I mean, I don't know. They should meet in the middle. Do like 15,
What
20
other
bucks.
sports are you going to watch on ESPN besides WWE?
So some football stuff is kind of relegated to ESPN, depending on what cable service
SEC Network, yeah.
WNBA, of course.
Not the WNBA. I watch more college football than I do NFL. So.
Oh, then yeah.
SEC.
Yeah. But I'm one of those that share my info. So my parents have my login info, so they watch a lot of sports. But yeah.
Do you charge them?
No, it's my parents.
Go halvesies?
No. My dad was forced to retire early for some medical reasons. So anything I can do to help them on the financial standpoint, I do.
You're like, don't worry, Dad.
Yeah, I got you.
I got you WWE pay-per-views.
It was more so my mom. Like, don't worry. My dad watches football, but he's NFL. My mom's also a college football person. It's like, don't worry, Mom. I got you. Like, you're good.
You know what's weird? My mother-in-law is oddly into wrestling.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. She likes any kind of fighting, but she likes the wrestling because of the spectacle.
Oh, of course. Back in the Attitude Era, it was a family event. We were watching. We were flipping back and forth between WWF and WCW. So,
yeah, she's like a 70-year-old little Asian lady.
I mean, I'm sure she watches for the plot.
It's kind of weird.
Bring it on.
So, how was your week for DC Comics? It was a big Absolute week. We got Absolute Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash.
It was all right. I thought, look, I'm not reading Absolute Martian Manhunter. I thought Absolute Batman had some fun stuff to it. Absolute Wonder Woman, that title in general has been hit or miss for me. I feel like DC overall was kind of a meh week.
It seemed like it should have been bigger because you had Green Lantern, you had Superman, you had a Jeremy Adams DCKO special.
Yep. The two Jeremy Adams books are a little, lackluster this week, which is odd for him, but he gets a pass every now and then. But a lot of good indie books this week, so I'm sure we'll kind of bring that up towards the end. But
I will say this: Absolute Wonder Woman was sold out of the new release shelf by the time I got there on Wednesday, about 3:30 p.m. They open at 11, so in 3.5 hours they had already sold out of this. So there you go.
Nice.
Oh, because I guess it's the one with Absolute Batman in it.
Possibly, yeah.
Probably.
Oh no, Absolute Wonder Woman.
Absolute Batman was the one with.
Yeah, with Wonder Woman.
Oh, Batman was the one, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the one with Zatanna and Suicide Squad.
Okay,
the big reveal at the end.
Zatanna, yeah.
It's interesting. She's flipped, inversed, because she's got the fishnet on the top instead of on her legs. I can see that.
She looks like what was the character's name? Black Alice. Like I feel like they were like, oh, let's do Black Alice, and they're like, no one's gonna know Black Alice. Just make it Zatanna, and they didn't change anything else except for how she casts her spells. That's my opinion. Yeah.
So Dylan, we brought up the pay-per-views. There's another UFC numbered event this weekend, right?
Yeah. We got UFC 325 this weekend. We got the Volk versus Lopez, the 145 title, which is a rematch because
nobody ever wanted.
Yep, I already fought before, and I'm assuming it'll be someone
close.
No, Volk schooled him, but also it was the few times Lopez did touch him. I was like, ooh, that could be bad if he lands a few more because there's a huge power difference, and Volk is old. It's like this was Volk's last fight. He fought him his last time, and he's old. It's like I don't want to see him have a rematch against a guy that he already beat.
Yeah. Stupid. But is it worth your time? You're going to check out that one?
Yeah, I'll check it out because there's some other good fights on it. Like the rest of the card's pretty good, other than the stupid heavyweight fight they threw on there. The rest of the card's really good, actually. So it should be some fun fights.
The heavyweight's in a weird position right now.
Yeah, well, generally speaking, every single UFC event, they're like, all right, if we have a good event, we have to slow it down with either a heavyweight fight or a women's fight. It's like, this is where you get your food, you do your bathroom break, you do whatever you need to do. This is where
you on your nachos.
Avert your eyes from the screen. It happens every time, every UFC card. This one, they don't have a women's fight, so they have to throw the heavyweights on there to be like, this is your break. Tai Tuivasa had to cut to make heavyweight.
It's weird that Ngannou left the UFC for like not Bellator, but the other one,
PFL.
I think he's fought in once in 3 years.
Yep, he fought once, and then he had a couple boxing fights.
And now he's like 40 years old.
Yep, is very weird. And then also, wasn't he in like a car accident or something? Something else happened, or like a motorcycle accident. He had some other weird stuff happened. Yeah,
I know Anthony Joshua got in a car accident.
Yeah, he was in that car accident in Nigeria, but something also happened with Ngannou. I can't remember. I could have sworn he was in some auto accident as well.
Or something?
Yeah, he had something weird. So that was.
He didn't really capitalize on that big move for all those pay-per-view points.
I mean, yeah, but he still got paid. He got paid for his boxing, so he made out good. PFL got screwed though. PFL, they put him on their council for PFL. They made like some specific like Africa council or something that they threw him on there, and I don't think that anything came of that. So
weird.
Good moves.
Did you read any good books this week, Dave?
Yeah, it was a good, not a great week. There were several good books I read, but not a whole lot of great books.
What did you think about Roadblock?
I liked Roadblock. I like have a cheesy good time or whatever he says. That was good. I like seeing him just mess with it. I don't know why the stealth unit is recruiting him. That part confused me. I don't know why they're like, all right, Flint, your stealth unit that doesn't like getting seen. Give the gigantic guy that's known for being a heavy gunner. Get that guy. That didn't make sense.
You can infiltrate him with a food truck,
I suppose.
Even cobras get hungry. Come on,
dude. Did you finally get to read that Conan that Conan book?
I have not read it yet because I'm gonna read the whole thing. I want to read the whole arc. I don't want to read just the finale.
Man, it's been so good.
Yeah, I know you guys always say how good it is, but I haven't checked it out. I will read that eventually, but not yet.
All right, Sully, did you read any good books this week? Please do not give me any of that 20 for 24 bullshit that you gave us last week.
What? No.
You said Marvel was 20 for 24 last week.
I said they were like close to 20
me.
to 20. Oh my goodness. I'm glad that we can have our differences of opinions. There were a couple of good books this week, and Iron Man 1 was not one of them. Let me tell you. Oh man, that was a little flat. There was some cute stuff going on in there, but overall, it's probably like a 6.5. I mean, I don't think I'm going to get issue 2. And I've been really I've been loving Joshua Williamson stuff lately, especially. And I bought 3 Joshua Williamson books this week. I got G.I. Joe. I got Superman, which was fun. I mean, I love Superboy Prime, so I love him like in like, you know, just kicking ass and stepping up. And Eddie Barrow's art in that was really good too. So yeah, but Marvel books this week, I read 10 Marvel books this week. I mean, Red Band Punisher #5, it closes out and it's pretty good. I mean, the OHA art.
So it's already over.
It ended this week
because we're getting the ongoing starting soon.
But is the ongoing spin-off out of this because
yes,
because spoilers, someone dies, or were they?
No, dead? He's not dead. It's going to be revealed that all his big muscle tissue saved him. That's what's going to be. Yeah,
but overall, there was some really good overkill scenes in this, and to really use that Red Band permission of being over the top. And it landed. It was overall a pretty good story. Another win for Ben Percy, by the way. How's that for positive? Yeah.
Hey, you've got to start somewhere.
There was Strange Tales #5, and that's such a that is a like Josh
Jeremy Whitley book.
It wasn't made for Josh, but let's put it that way. I mean, lots of Everqueer, that purple pink color everywhere. As soon as you open the book, you're assaulted with it. And it's like, and I like Wiccan and Hulkling as characters, and that they're just not used very well in this book. And it's like, oh, this is just like, you know, there's the Spider Girl. I mean, the Spider Gwen, and just like all of these just is gay everywhere. It's like, okay.
When honestly, since the first volume, since the Alan Heinberg Young Avengers, when have Wiccan and Hulkling been used well?
Yeah,
you like that Al Ewing book with them on, dude. You always talk about
the Ultimates. Oh, were they? I can't remember if were they both in the Ultimates.
Not in the Ultimates. The Al Ewing book when they're in space and all that shit.
Yeah, the event. Like, what was that? Where they were dealing with the throne and who was gonna.
Yeah, no, I'd never liked that. I have no idea what you're talking about either.
But yeah,
you always talk about how great you like that one run from Mal Ewing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the Ultimates.
I didn't think it was Ultimates.
Ultimates and Ultimates 2, the one that actually made like Carol Danvers moderately interesting during the 2000s. It was during Marvel Now, or All New Marvel Now.
And I never took you for an All New Marvel Now guy.
That was the only book that that there was that, and the Marvel 2-in-1.
I thought it was New Avengers that you liked so much.
No, I like the Ultimates.
Man, I'm misremembering stuff again.
Yes, you are.
To it. Nah, Doc was singing the praises of New Avengers.
The Ultimates in 2015 and 2016. It had Ken Rocafort art. Al Ewing did it. It was the one with fucking Galactus.
As Empire is not Al Ewing. Empire is Dan Slott.
And Al Ewing.
Was he on that one too?
Yes.
It's been a rough go.
It was a Dan Slott, Al Ewing event. They were together on that one.
Man. So am I the only one that's freezing his balls off right now?
Are you kidding me? It was 0 degrees in Boston this morning. It's downright tropical out there. It's 11 degrees out there now.
Well, I was about to tell you how it's 82 degrees and it's freezing.
No. This is the coldest it's been since I've lived here. It's 75 degrees.
Oh no!
I haven't experienced anything like this in 8 years.
Wow! And you're cold at 7. Wes.
Well, he's rocking the sweater.
My
dude.
nipples are fucking protruding. I'm just
razors. Yeah. Cutting some glass.
Exactly.
Weird in Tokyo.
Yeah, we're
He's high
22
beaming.
degrees here in Texas right now.
You look like a Joel Schumacher Batman suit there.
It is
Exactly.
-5 in Pittsburgh.
Well, I'm glad to see that
-5.
everybody's freezing now.
Fuck
Dylan, you're probably the only one that's warm.
And it's 48 degrees here.
Yeah, exactly. You got
That's a good temp, Dylan. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably nice and comfortable.
Mm-hmm. But also, I will say, Steve Orlando did the yeoman's job on 2099, The End, #2. Oddly entertaining and satisfying. There's a lot of like mashup characters, future characters. It's just all out superhero action scenes, and it does the job. You know, on the other side of the spectrum is his Sorcerer Supreme Scarlet Witch book, and it's just like that's the same old kind of Scarlet Witch stuff he's been doing. You know, he's been on, but he's been doing a really good job, in my humble opinion, on those recent 2099 books. I have no problems with that, and it's good to see him actually deliver a decent superhero story. That and Marvel Zombies #5, that Jan Baldazua art was amazing.
I think it's Jan Bazulia.
Yes, thank you. I can't, I butcher people's names and words, but it lands really nicely. There's like a time skip, and Peter Parker becomes a lot like the sole survivor in Richard Matheson's I Am Legend, like the one human left on this world of zombies. And then it lands really nicely with hope.
I Am Legend is vampires.
Right, but still, it was like,
They're kind of zombies.
Yeah, but it's like I got that feeling that like it kind of evoked it for me, and I like that. I like classic sci-fi and horror, so I was like, that was a really good ending. I really ended up enjoying Red Band Marvel Zombies, this new one. So yeah, that was
the only person I think in all of the world that's mentioned that book since it debuted.
Good, and more people should know about it. There are decent comics out there. And I think it's going to collect really well into a nice trade paperback as well. Hopefully, it will be successful in the next market. You know what I mean?
But you know why nobody supports Marvel solely? Great book like Wolverine or Spider-Man and Wolverine canceled at 10 issues, despite being fantastic.
Yeah, I wish Carrie Andrews was able to stay on that book. I mean, the Sandoval art was pretty good, but I was paying money for it specifically for all the interior art by Carrie Andrews, all those fight scenes, all those impossible superhero poses. It was so fun. But I'm sorry to say I dropped it. The story wasn't enough for me to continue buying it.
Can you believe this, dude? He's sitting there talking about how great Inglorious X-Force was, but he dropped Spider-Man and Wolverine.
Yeah, that's kind of sacrilege.
Gerardo Sandoval's art.
Yeah, Sully, look, I love you, brother, but you have terrible taste. You're like Jimmy taste.
Who?
Comic Quirks, Jimmy
used to be on the show. Used to try to steal my lines.
Dylan might have a point. Dylan says that Sully is just a contrarian. If he knows that we like something, he'll talk about how it wasn't all that good. If he knows something was dog shit, he'll talk about how great it was, just to keep the conversation lively. Is this a bit that you're playing on us, Sully?
A kayfabe? Am I playing babyface? Do you use guys as heels? I don't know. Maybe. This is all the tune in next week and find out. No, really.
Is it really a babyface role to sit there and say that dog shit Inglorious X-Force? At least dog shit once what's her face shows up?
Pages with Miss Marvel that brought it down to a screeching halt. I think we can give it a bit more leeway.
It really did.
Art was pretty good.
Way more than 6 pages.
Yeah, it was a head-on collision.
It was eternity. Just get there, just like, oh god.
I thought it was like reminiscent of 90s styles, over-the-top superhero action, and I like seeing Boom Boom. And I enjoyed it.
You said Boom Boom was a problem.
No, did I?
No, you're saying I like Boom Boom. What's that prove? Everybody like Boom Boom.
Well, yeah, but like any magazine with her in it, she just lifts it up, and she balances Kamala's unlikability too with likability.
No,
by kowtowing to her, be like, oh yeah, let's protect this moron that is talking shit.
Come on, none of these features come true, and they all end up as alternate Earths anyway. So this doesn't matter. It's like Schrodinger's.
When I was reading that issue, I said "OF." I dropped an F-bomb the moment I saw Jersey City on that monitor screen because I knew the moment I turned the page, I knew where it was going, and sure enough, well, con.
Yep.
Didn't it feel like a different comic book as soon as you turned that page?
Dude, I didn't know what happened. Like, I literally said it felt like a head-on collision because the momentum of that book, which was pretty paint by numbers of like, okay, we're recruiting the team, but it was done well for that. Like, I was on board and a little surprised, and then we got there, and I was like, oh crap!
Ground to a screeching halt.
Yeah. But then he says Spider-Man and Wolverine, the Gerardo Sandoval art is not up to snuff.
Yeah,
it's not Carrie Andrews art, and it just didn't. I'm like, I only have so much space. I only have so many. There's only so many funny books.
So you don't have so much room for Inglorious X-Force here. So I got no room.
He needs to buy the other 11 dog shit titles because the one went from a 9.5 to an 8.5. Ooh.
I guess the run wasn't that important to me. I mean, in the end,
did you get to Arachnix? Did you get to that?
It was a fun character. But also, it's like everywhere in Marvel these days. I guess the most are all the mashup characters. There are so many mashup characters in Marvel, different Marvel books everywhere that it's so. I'm done with it. I'm like, oh look, more mashup, more multiverse. Oh boy, what shall I do? Keep spending my money on it? I just didn't. No, I just had a point where I was like, okay, I can walk away from this. It'll be fine. I still like it, but did I spend $4.99 on it? I didn't.
We got to get some more Steve Orlando $20.99 action.
They made him the $20.99 guy back in during the last Spider ASM run that did that $20.99 event. He became the $20.99 guy for Marvel.
Yeah.
No, you couldn't give it to fucking Peter David, who was dying and needed money. You had to give it to this obnoxious bundle of sticks.
I think Sully should be forced to read Commanders in Crisis.
What is it? What's this?
Steve Orlando.
It's Steve Orlando.
Yeah, Steve Orlando.
Oh. Don't tempt him with a good time, dude.
Oh my goodness.
It's a bunch of like presidents from different nations, different worlds. They're all kind of gay. They're all superheroes. Yeah.
It's not
gay superhero presidents.
Yeah. No, seriously, we're not joking.
Oh boy.
Like at all.
Yeah.
I'll go look it up on the high seas. I'll go that far, guys.
Ahoy, maybe.
You should fucking what was it, the Clockwork Orange, where your eyes were all like this? Like, you look at this comic book. You want to talk about how great Steve Orlando is? Look at this.
I said something nice. That's all I did.
And then when you're talking about how Simon Humphrey's like New Avengers is amazing, you're like, okay, it's time to read the dog fucking comic book.
Yeah.
Is that Our Love Is Real? A lot of weird stuff going on in comic books, dude.
Yeah.
Did you see the big news, McDonald, that finally DC, after building up like 2 years of straight momentum, finally passed Marvel in the market share lead?
Yeah, I mean that with how bad Marvel has been, that shouldn't surprise anyone. But good for them. I mean, the first time since New 52 launched that they've managed.
Rebirth.
Oh, Rebirth. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Rebirth did do it as well. Yeah.
But New 52 did it for like a year and a half, though. I mean, it was a little prolonged beatdown that they gave them. But it's been like 8 years.
No, good for them. And honestly deserved, because as you said earlier, DC's been, it feels like they're putting in the effort. They're trying to tell good stories.
They're doing the work and not pulling a DC and shooting themselves in the dick. I'm fine with it. It just took them like 9, I don't know, blue-balled orgasms to get there.
Yeah.
Very descriptive, Doc.
Oh, that's what they did to themselves. They did that to all their readers too. They blue-balled them about 9 times.
If only James Gunn and the DCU could finally pass up Marvel in the movies, get up to that Fantastic Four Thunderbolts quality.
What do you mean? Superman was the made the most money on any superhero movie last year. They already did pass them. So there you go. They already did.
Quality.
They already did.
So Josh, you are the pop culture guy.
Yeah.
Dylan has been besmirching me essentially on a weekly basis now because I think that Fantastic Four.
You're doing this because Aaron's not here and he's the only other one that sees the truth with you. That's why you're doing this.
Josh is the movie guy. He covers the movies. I think that Fantastic Four, while bad casting, is technically a better film and better story than Superman. And I also think Thunderbolts was better than both of them.
I agree with you. No, I completely agree with you. And I went in thinking I was going to hate Thunderbolts, and I liked it more than I did. I wish we had a little more time with it. But I was one of the loudest voices saying like, yo, Fantastic Four is actually a really good film. And I think a lot of people just didn't like it because of Pedro.
Well, the casting was awful. They miscast almost all
the final act is awful. After they get back from Galactus, after they first encounter him, the movie goes completely downhill.
But the cinematography is the best that we've seen probably since Wakanda Forever.
I especially love the part
you think
where
Wakanda Forever is a good-looking movie.
McDonald says that's the best cinematography.
Josh loved it.
I do think it's some of the best cinematography. Go back and rewatch it. There's really good shots.
All I can remember from cinematography is that horrific final fight where it looks like a complete reshoot, where they have Fat Namor in the sun and it looks really bad. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that being like.
I just love when they use the baby like that lamb in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Put it out. Yeah, no, I thought overall from a technical aspect, Fantastic Four was head and shoulders a better film than Superman.
No, and look, much better.
I didn't hate Superman, but I also didn't love Superman. There's a lot of stuff that I liked about Superman, and I like some of the kind of Silver Age throwbacks that they did. But as a cohesive film, I didn't feel like it was as good as a lot of people thought it was.
Yeah, they didn't push the villain back for 15 minutes while he's just going, whoa, how do I stop this? Whoa. Superman could have benefited from that.
Well, I mean,
Superman
had to
beats
punch
up
a retard for a while.
An R-coded Superman for like 5 minutes.
A guy with the power of Superman that had beat him up earlier in the movie and was a threat. Galactus was far more retarded than retarded Superman in Fantastic Four. Sue by herself pushes him back for 15 minutes across like 10 miles, and it's just like, well, that's great. And he's the whole time he's slowly falling. He's just like, how do I stop myself? And he's like grabbing on the buildings like a dumbass. And also he's there. He already saw his Silver Surfer destroy all the teleporters. And he was like, I could just bonk this one while I'm here. And so he's like, baby, go where? Huh? The Galactus is so much more retarded than retarded Superman in the Superman movie.
Hard to
Yeah, but what Sue defeating Galactus is so much more heroic than Superman defeating an R-coded version of himself.
No, it's not. Galactus got to eat. He's just another guy. What do you mean? You're depriving him. It's the food chain. He's got to eat. Man. Why are you depriving him?
I don't want him to. Josh knows what I'm saying, though.
I got you, Wes.
Bizarro, this Bizarro was grown in a lab, dude. Bizarro. He doesn't even have a soul, so what does it matter?
Yeah.
He was grown in a lab. He was made by Lex. He was controlled by Lex. He's controlled by the smartest guy in the universe.
Okay, but here's the thing. So they took that same idea for the comics a few years back, but the comics did it way, way better.
With Bizarro?
All I know is this Lex Luthor was definitely the best at button combos in video games. Because he knew every button combo. He didn't even have to press the buttons. Not even any muscle memory. It was all brain memory to remember. And then telling people.
He had neural.
He had his guys that were there, and he gave them the commands. He had come up with his move list because he had studied Superman the entire time.
Yeah, he knew the button combos without even looking at a controller.
He had a real Bluetooth.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Up, down, left, right.
So,
yeah.
BA select start.
Yes. Well, that's the Konami code. But like, double back BA up for like a fucking uppercut combo.
But I don't know. I maintain also that Thunderbolts is better than both of them. So maybe I'm crazy. Although I don't love the ending being so close to what they did with the Thanos snap. It was probably the weakest part of it.
Yeah.
Dylan, are you willing to see the argument?
I mean, I can see that's wrong. I like Thunderbolts. It was fine, but Superman was clearly better.
There you go. We agree to disagree. We do have some peoples here. Jagrin 2, aka Shenanigans. So I get coming Monday, Absolute Sinestro Corps Edition. So what do you guys consider the best DC event crossover story by them? War #1 for me.
That's a good one. I like Crisis on Infinite Earths because I was 12 when that came out, and that really caught my attention, and I was there for that. And it was really cool, and it was really cool to get every month, and everything tied into it, and it kind of left you confused after that too. You had like this new Batman kind of thing with like Jason Todd and Crime Alley, and you had the new Wonder Woman thing and the new Superman thing. Everything was just, it was interesting, and it was fun to be part of. So yeah, and that art, that George Perez art, I still love that.
You can take your pick of what event from Jeff Johns, like Blackest Night, Infinite Crisis, Doomsday Clock. Like it just, man.
I go Blackest Night.
Incredible.
My favorite.
Yeah. Even though I don't think they consider it an event, I think it feels event-like. But Darkseid War, I thought was really damn good too.
Darkseid War was really good.
Yeah.
That's the one with the reveal on the Mobius chair?
Yeah. Like that was by far the lowest part of that. But everything leading up to that, the fight with Darkseid, that was all like just 10 out of 10 block. And you had Jason Fabok.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. I'm always partial to Batman No Man's Land, and don't get me wrong, there's a ton of low points in that. But when it's good, it's good. And I give them credit for trying to go there.
It's not really an event though. That's like a prolonged era.
I'm true. Fair.
It's like 2 or 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Almost like Nightfall. Although Nightfall has like the one event, and then you have all the fallout that you get.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Night Quest, Night End.
Yeah. Man, they're going to be making a cartoon Jeremy Adams is writing soon. That'll be good.
Yeah.
And then JoJo 56 Bizarre. Wes, do you see compact comic editions making an impact? They're making an enormous impact. In fact, I'll have a video out, I think, on Monday talking about just how dominant DC's compact comic editions are. And this is what they've got coming out. Josh, did you see this one? They have a box set. You get Watchmen, Dark Knight Returns, All-Star Superman, Kingdom Come, DC, the New Frontier, and The Long Halloween for $50.
Dude,
wow.
That is so good. That's such a good price.
That's the best.
Yeah, and they picked good books for it. They didn't go with like, oh, here's our popular kind of like what's hot in our
here's Harley Quinn.
It's like, hey, these are legitimately
Let's throw JoJo Mullen's finance book in there. Like
oh gosh.
No, there's not a book there that doesn't belong, dude.
Agreed. And I think the good thing with this too is with the compact, I mean, at least from what I'm hearing from my friends that run our own comic shops, they're getting a lot of crossover. Like a lot of new people are coming in, picking that up. Like people that are coming in for Absolute Batman are checking out these other things because they're a good price point, easy to digest. But a lot of manga crossovers coming into this too because it's kind of made for that audience as well. Yeah,
it's their preferred size. What do you think, Dylan? As a lifelong but younger comic book reader, do you like the smaller size?
I mean, it's not for me, but I think it's a great idea. I think obviously it's people are buying it, so because I'm more of the Absolute Edition. That's
you
my
want
cup of tea. I want the premium big format. Just I want it as big as possible. But yeah, I like.
But if
I
these
think
compact comics can get them another 1,000 people like you, they're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right. You got to have that entry point. But I couldn't believe the box set. I was blown away.
Did you find out any kind of sales numbers, like non-comic book shop locations, like bookstore stuff? Like,
yeah.
That's
the
cool.
DC compact comics are the ones that are competing with manga sales numbers.
Oh, that's cool.
Now manga has dipped, but it was still dominating everything, and the compact comics are like jumping up there and maybe not overtaking into the top 10 spots, but they're actually competing on that level because they're selling every single month. So they've been doing amazing, and they're making a huge impact. Of course, Marvel did their Premier collection, which is their manga size but bigger, so they could charge $15, and it blew up in their faces.
Yeah,
and they also didn't even bother to,
tell anybody about it.
Advertise.
They forgot to market it. Yeah, it was weird. Federico De La Casa. I liked Iron Man #1. It felt like an Iron Man comic.
It felt like Iron Man 2.
Yeah, it felt like a movie, like really movie based. It's like we're reintroduced to Pepper Potts, and I'm like, comic Pepper is a lot different than movie Pepper, and it seems like they're trying to import movie Pepper into this book, and I'm like, is Happy Hogan still dead in the comic books?
Yes.
You know, I'm a little off base with current Iron Man, I guess. You know, because Happy and Pepper were married.
Pepper and Tony have been like estranged for like 15 years, ever since Superior Iron Man, when he tried to take over the world, and then she took his company from him.
Okay.
And they don't really even address that, but it's 100% inspired by the movies, which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
Look, I if I'm being honest though, I would take that over the like cuck Tony Stark we've been getting in comics for like the past 5 to 10 years.
Spencer Ackerman, Dan Slott stuff.
Yeah, Chris Cantwell.
Yeah. Ugh. That was not good.
No.
But yeah. We'll get back to that. Jagger 2, can Marvel become less interesting in 2026?
Yes.
I guess they can. They could end their Ultimate Universe, which is the only thing anyone's actually interested in right now. That would do it. And then they could refuse to remove Sonny and Ahmed from Wolverine and get a good writer on there. Spider-Man could keep being Norman Osborn. There's stuff. There's a lot of stuff that Marvel could do to become less interesting in 2026.
They're working on it.
Feels like it.
Doing their damnedest.
Yeah.
Doc and I recorded a video, and obviously it'll be out here in a few days, but they really don't have a magic switch. There's few plays for them to do that would just like garner interest. They've event fatigued everybody out. They've rebooted everything into oblivion, and they're just kind of stuck where they're at, you know?
Yeah, I mean, was a great evidence of that was it 2 weeks ago, Jed McKay's Avengers number 800, and it was basically like a clip show episode where like the past 2 years of events all crammed into one issue, being like, remember this and remember that as we're
he was
fighting
slurping
Kang.
himself. It was weird.
And it was just like, it just reminds you of like how much baggage you have to like, oh, that's it, and how unfun it was.
Yeah. So I think 2026 is a worse year for Marvel than 2025.
Yeah.
Daisuke Yamamoto. Sully is the comic fan that corporations dream for. The type that uses his counter arguments to say you're not a real fan. See, this guy debunks you.
Bakuda, Daisuke-sama. That means, are you an idiot? Daisuke, no.
Sully, how could you say I'm not a real fan? Because I thought Inglorious X-Force was dog crap.
Exactly. You're making up my words for me. You don't have my consent to do that,
no,
Mr. Yamamoto. Seriously, I mean, no, I just have a different perspective. I think I have fun. I love fun in comic books. I'm easy and simple to please sometimes. I don't like serious stories all that much. You know, I like superhero fights. I like great art. I like a holographic foil cover with a lenticular, motion thing. I'm easy to please. I'm a different kind of fan. But I go to the comic book shop every Wednesday, and I spend probably about $120 on new comics every month. And that's just, I just come from my perspective. Yeah.
I love you, Sully.
Thank you.
You have terrible taste in comics, but otherwise,
yeah. I'm seeing some foreshadowing for 2026, though. I think by December 2026, we're going to have Sully talking about how Dennis Camp is the best writer in comics.
Ever.
Yeah. Even though there's not a fun page to be had in a Dennis Camp book.
No,
I'm going to wear a keffia that has little like vision designs in it. You know what I mean? Like Denny's.
I was reading his Ultimates because it was really funny how dumb it was. But then it started taking itself real serious. I was like, okay, there's no fun to be had here. I guess I'll move to All New Venom.
Oh man, and the power of the people stuff. It is so on the nose, like culturally. Yeah. It's not satire. It's polemics. And it's like, oh, miss me with this shit, please. I need escapism, not the luggage of your ideology. Sorry, Mr. Camp.
Yeah.
And I'm the positive one.
Great. You gotta have a wide variety of fans. Somebody's gotta like the dog shit.
And the shark shit too.
Exactly. Somebody's got to like the shark book.
I like the shark book.
Federico de la Casa. I watched the Wonder Man TV show, and it's surprisingly good. It's more akin to the Robert Altman, the players in his superhero show. So I have been told by a couple of people that I trust, including Perch, that I should watch Wonder Man, and I'm considering doing it, but I haven't checked it out yet.
I have not. bothered. I might get really fucking bored and check it out, but as it stands right now, I just can't bring myself to care for a show that was canceled and then magically uncanceled without really any alert. It was canceled and then they just announced they were starting filming. So something about that just screams, I don't think this is going to be that good. And it's going to be way too Hollywood meta filleting itself.
That's someone I heard. I heard that the show's good. Have you checked it out, Josh? You're the pop culture dude.
I have not checked it out yet. I was going into it with the intention of not watching it. I do feel a little burnout on a lot of this stuff. However, same as you, Wes. I've had close friends that I respect their opinions that said I needed to watch it. However, their stance was like, if you're someone that loves film and television, especially how things are made and kind of behind the scenes and what that process looks like, then you're going to love this. So I think it has less to do with the Marvelness of it, more to do with like, hey, we're kind of playing.
I was told that specifically. If you're expecting a superhero show, you might not like it though.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Because there's almost none of that in there.
Yep.
But it sounds like maybe it wasn't terrible. But much like Spider-Man and Wolverine, once you feed people a diet of really bad TV shows, when you finally have one that's good, it's going to be hard for them to notice.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but I'm probably going to check it out. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I might start it this weekend and see what I think. It'd have to be tomorrow though.
Kalichioki, nothing is going to change. Jim Lee will acknowledge this, and for the next 5 years, we'll stay the same course. Still create characters like Featherweight and still employ people like Tom King. Idiots. That's the thing that pisses me off about the interview. And obviously, that'll be the main topic here, Josh, is that Jim Lee is acknowledging this stuff as if he is not in a position or hasn't been in a position for over 15 years to fix things or
to make it happen. He had a big comment about how part of why it's working for manga is the diversity of the types of stories they can tell. You can do that with comics. I think the problem that our comics are having is they're trying to take all these other genres and themes and elements and put them in superhero comics. Yeah, your superhero comics should be superhero comics. If you want to do some of this other stuff, Marvel and DC can publish it, make a separate line that's kind of for that kind of slice of life type stuff. But I also think you should just release those as collections. Like you're already doing this kind of compact edition. If you have writers on that you have contracts with that want to do those types of stories, let them do it. But just put it as its own kind of line or imprint under DC or under Marvel. And then if you can have people sitting in a cafe eating food as much as you want to. I don't care.
So here's the thing, Josh. When Jim Lee became a co-publisher with Day and Didio in 2010 at DC Comics, they had a thriving alternate genre line called Vertigo. Mm-hmm. Now, it wasn't slice of life stuff. It was more horror and mystery and stuff like that. But under his leadership, he was part of the executive team there. They decided, you know what? These things, we want to treat them as if they are Superman books or Batman books and characters that we've owned for, decades upon decades. We want you to sign over your creator rights. We won't give you as much skin in the game, and basically forced all those stories that would have been Vertigo and big titles over to Image Comics. That's why Image Comics is what it is today. And that happened under his leadership.
Yep. Agreed. It was a stupid decision. I remember it's one of those things that it kind of felt like it made sense in the moment because Vertigo wasn't doing well in the moment, but they had a lot of terrible creators working on those titles. But it's like, no, just fix what you got. Don't say the whole thing is a lost cause. And but yeah, they gave Image a lot of ammunition.
All the good creators out. Yeah. Once they said we're going to treat this as if you're writing a Superman book, and we're going to have ownership of this all new character rather than just being a publisher.
Yep. Yeah.
Because they got so pissed off at fucking Neil Gaiman and the fact that his Sandman universe stuff, which they feel like they should have owned all of it, ended up doing so amazingly in books and in other mediums.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So they did it themselves, really.
Oh, agreed. No, I completely agree.
Yeah. Caleb says, I hate Jim Lee. That interview, just come on. I don't hate Jim Lee. He's an amazing artist. I think maybe he's not the world's greatest executive, but he's brought a lot of joy and great things to comic books.
Yeah. Look, as much as I used to rag on Dan DiDio, at least that man would make a decision and stick to, for the most part, try to stick to a plan and wasn't afraid to say no. Like if you're going to be a leader, you've got to come in and actually make some decisions and stand your ground and try to like direct your company. Jim Lee just kind of seems like he's asleep at the wheel and like, oh, I don't know, guys.
Yes.
What do we want to do?
Yeah. Feels like they're pretty lucky right now that Scott Snyder wanted to do this Absolute Universe thing like 7 years ago.
Absolutely.
And he finally let him do it. What were you saying, Doc?
I was just going to say, I've never thought that. I think Jim Lee is a perfectly good executive in the being willing to say yes to things that that other executives might not, because it will keep the company afloat. But at the same time, him directing creative, for a very creative guy, he's not very good at that.
Yeah, even his Wildstorm stuff didn't really pick up until he brought in other better creatives to come in and direct the vision of the universe.
Yeah,
right.
And he basically focused on the on the executive level,
finding the right
business
artists,
arrangements, finding good artists, but also
he's great at that.
Brokering,
by the way.
Yes, but by brokering deals with other companies that allowed his company to have a set of work, either doing cards for card game companies, or doing he had that Warhammer deal that ended up being basically the best-selling comic of like post distributor wars, that nobody will ever admit is the best-selling comic of the late 90s, because they don't consider it a comic book.
Yeah. American Texan, who has a brilliant YouTube channel. If you guys haven't checked it out, he's a really great guy. Howdy, party people. Thoughts on what if DC moved to compact comic size after story arc completion instead of trade size with current runs? This is something that I think that DC should experiment with. This is what I would do, Josh. Anytime there was an Absolute Universe trade, it would come out compact comics day number 1. I wouldn't release everything in that size, but I would be grabbing what you think are your better storylines, like DCKO would probably be in there. What Josh Williamson is doing in Superman maybe comes out in compact size format, and make it feel special, because I think one of the reasons that DC and Marvel trades aren't as hot as they could be is they do flood the shelf and release everything in trades, and a vast majority of what they produce probably doesn't deserve that. It's not good enough. Right. So I would use the compact comic format to really identify the best of the best.
Agreed. I look, so I'm going to kind of echo what Dylan said earlier. The compact size is not for me. I do prefer the larger size, but at the same time, like, DC's a business. And if this is what's working and this is what's selling for you, then you need to lean into it. And they clearly are, because they're releasing more and more books. And they're making really good choices with the books that they do release. Yes. So, I think if they're trying to, for gosh, what, 20 years now, they've been trying to, like, we need to find our new audience. They started stepping away from let's maintain our audience, so let's find our new audience. I think if this is the thing that might actually work for them, they're making smart decisions with what they moved to compact. They're putting more compact out. They're getting those new readers in. Absolute, specifically in floppies, are getting new readers in. So yeah, to me, that makes sense. I think that's a great idea. And if they continue to hit markets outside of comic shops too, I mean, you're just going to get a larger reach. But, I think a lot of people that don't read comics or haven't read comics come into comic books with the mindset of like, oh, well, those are for kids, right? You read some good stuff and go, no, that's a damn good story. I want to read more. So hopefully this is the trend that they see. And I think if DC keeps doing what they're doing, we could see them take quite a long run of being the top dog in the comic industry.
There's one thing that I'm worried about with the compact ones, and only time will tell. Are there bindings at the spine? I mean, because they're cheaply made. Like, will the spines
$10?
Up? Yeah, they're $10. I mean, several
they're not
years
made
ago.
To last.
Yeah, exactly. Like several years ago, I bought these digest sizes of Marvel had published Morrison's New X-Men, the entire thing. I got the entire thing on sale at my store, really cheap. but it came with the price, literally. I mean, it had this gummy kind of spine to it, and the pages started falling out upon reading it. And I'm like, oh my God. You know what I'm talking about, Doc?
Marvel, that's the reason why Marvel stopped their digest format.
Yeah. And I was just like,
because everybody hated the binding.
But Manga's been doing that for years upon years. It's not like they can't figure out how to do good bindings.
That's where I'm going with this. Honestly, I think that DC should very seriously consider eliminating their standard trade paperback program. Go put your marquee characters, your Batman, Detective, Superman, Action, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, and Justice League. Releasing all of those, sequentially in compact form so that they have a product like Manga on the shelf in a similar form factor that people can pick up starting at volume 1 and just work their way through. If you have to, event books, maybe you release those, maybe you don't. I don't necessarily think it matters. Then you stick with, and that's for like the bookstore. But when you're getting into like the book market, say like the Hudson News, so when you're going to places where it would be, people on the road, that might want to pick something up, that's where you put your whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow, your Dark Knight Returns, those are like those books that they have, the Evergreen, the Watchmen, all of those, you put those in that market. But and then you know what, for your it actually puts some sort of push to get people back into reading floppy comics. It gives some urgency to it. It's the only way to read in that size form factor. In that size factor, if you want the larger sizing, you have to buy monthly.
Noble Phantasm. Do you think Jim Lee saw that Manga, with a total serialization run of just 6 years, managed to sell over 150 million issues with 30 volumes? Well, I'm sure that he noticed that One Piece has sold more books than Superman or Batman now. It overtook both of them.
It's like they're trying to, they're befuddled to crack the code, and it's so obvious to us. Like they're just looking from the outside in. Like,
well, they cracked it a little bit. They are doing the DC Compact Comics, so they figured out the form.
But they don't have a digital strategy. That
they do not have the digital strategy. That's where they're screwed up.
Yeah,
you're right.
Agreed. Yeah, the digital strategy is interesting because they're trying to preserve comic shops, which I'm all for. But I think at some point you've just got to say, hey, we've got to survive as a business. But I think the big win with Compact is like they found the reader copy. We're talking about how they might not hold up. I think that's fine. Like if I'm gonna go pick up,
you buy a book for $10 and you expect it to last for 50 years, you're an idiot.
Correct.
Yes.
But if you're like, oh, I think I might like this, let me check it out. I'd rather pay $10, read it, and go, I love this book. Now I'm going to go get the trade or an absolute or like a special edition version. So I think that's smart, especially when you compare that a single floppy is what $4.99 to $7.99 now.
Yeah, they make great gifts too, to be honest. And this is the kind that you would like instead of like letting someone borrow one of yours. Like, hey, I got you this. It cost me $10. Don't worry about it. That's a beer.
It feels like you got something. It doesn't feel like a floppy comic book, which can feel a little bit lacking when you think about $5. When you say $10 and you grab an actual book, it feels like you've given someone something of substance because it has a beginning, middle, and end.
Yep.
By the way, he was talking about the Jujutsu Kaisen or Kaisen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen is a much more newer one that's absolutely dominating, as is Demon Slayer. But One Piece, just over the history of comic books being in publication, I think 50 less years, passed up Batman and Superman. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially considering that Batman and Superman come out like on a weekly basis. Almost. Mr. Enigma, how do you think the price for Absolute Batman 1 will go down? It's just ridiculous to me how cover A is outselling the ratio variant exclusive covers.
It will. It will, because they're eventually going to either kill off the Ultimate Universe, in which case it won't, or the Absolute Universe, in which case it won't matter, or they will milk it to the point where it will no longer matter. Look, these things have a shelf life.
Also, scarcity will play a part in the valuation of it eventually. Well,
yeah, but there's plenty of copies of it. Or is that what you mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's widely available. They printed the shit out of it. It was 250,000 copies of that one. Eventually, the scarcity will catch up to the fact that you can find this pretty readily available, while the variants and exclusives are going to be a little bit harder to find. Yeah, and that's you're assuming that. Look, do you want it, or do you think it's? Are you asking if you think you're going to get it cheap while Absolute still matters? No, sorry, you're not. Well, yeah, it's still in print. They're still printing new editions of it. Yeah, but I mean, it took 20 years for, actually a little bit longer, for Ultimate Spider-Man #1 to come back down to being like a $10 book, and that entire universe has been gone for 10 years. Yeah, but it will happen eventually. The reality of it, unless it ends up being something like, I don't know, what, AF-15 or like a it won't, because it's not an original character. Yeah, it would have to become some type of evergreen thing that really became a phenomenon that literally replaced permanently. Yeah, but even in that case, it was printed heavily, and people aren't throwing these copies away. American Texan says, "Thanks for the kind words. We're almost at 100 subscribers." Oh, well, you deserve a lot more than that, dude.
Yes, you do, man.
He wears like a camera and like reads the book and does a review. It's cool. I like the way he does it. You've checked that one out, Sully?
Yeah, I've seen a few of his videos. He gave us a mention once because he's been watching the show here, and so I tuned in and like, oh yeah, and I'm like, wow, hey man, thanks for the mention. And on top of it, you got a really decent show, so we grow together. You know what I mean? Smash his like button.
Yeah, definitely go check out American Texan Reads. We've got the Web Slinger. Last week made me realize that Wes is the OG passport bro. If America is too woke, do you think you should go to another country to find a wife? Ooh. I don't think I'm a passport bro.
Yeah, huh?
But Dylan, explain this to me like I'm a 2-year-old. What is a passport bro?
Dudes that go to other countries specifically to find women because they can't score in America.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not a passport bro. I was stationed in Asia, and that's when I married my wife. I was there for work reasons. But I don't think that America is so woke that you have to go to another country to find a wife. I don't. There are nice women in America, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you can find non-Americans here.
Yeah,
true. Look, I will say it's getting interesting here on the dating field. Just even in the South, it's getting interesting. But
10% of American women are now on OnlyFans. I'll put it that way. So that means 10% of the women are unmarried.
It can't be 10%.
Yeah, there's no way.
It is. It's 10%. It has reached 10%.
Now, are you saying 10% of a specific age bracket, or just all
10% of American women?
Because you
there are 15 million. There is 15 million American women on OnlyFans.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gotten bad.
Yeah, that means 10% of the
well,
gender in America is no, that's just American women. There's like 50 million women on OnlyFans.
How many of those accounts are active, Doc? How many multiples?
Doesn't matter.
AI bots.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they did one video.
Oh,
they're unmarriable. I'm married. Sorry, I'm not. I'm
more worried about
strippers. I've watched porn girls that I would never.
What's the percentage of men on OnlyFans, dude?
It's probably worse.
Problem for you too?
Well, I mean, in my community, it's everyone and their dog. No, I had to actually go through and start blocking people that I personally know because they got OnlyFans and were promoting on Twitter, and I'm like, I've had dinner with you and shook your hands. Funny. I don't need to see that, you know. So
I didn't think I was being real.
You know, I'm still getting over those parade photos you were showing last year, Josh. Jeez,
that was when I became the most hated gay in America.
But I don't think that you have to go to another country to find a wife. Just know what you want. Be very upfront when you meet somebody that you're interested in. Let them know what your expectations are. Find out if your expectations and theirs like meet up, because you don't want to waste your fucking time with somebody that has ultimately goals that are incompatible with you. And if you meet somebody in another country and fall in love, I think that's great. But I don't think it's a requirement. You can be all right. Sully found a girl in America.
Yeah, dude. Wow. I know, even me.
Exactly. Sully could do it. Anybody can pull it off.
Exactly. I was going to say
Doc's
that.
got a girl right now. She's American. I think Dylan does as well.
Yeah.
Plot twist, I'm getting a girl next. Like, what's going on?
Holy
Dylan, is your girl too woke for you? Or did you have to lower your standards?
She's Chinese, so they're not exactly woke. They're they go the other direction. They get a little too base sometimes.
Yeah. So yeah, you just you got to know what you want, be open and honest about it, and realize when you have something good,
and make opportunities and accept opportunities and be open for opportunities to hang out with people, and that's, and keep grinding.
Well,
yeah.
And hopefully everybody that's out there looking finds the right one for them. I want that for everybody, truly. So I've never been more happy in my life. Daisuke says, I don't understand how Jim Lee misses the point about stories. For the last decade, the big two have put out absolute garbage. No pun intended. It's not been a lot of great stories, but it has gotten a little bit better at DC. But I don't know that Jim Lee's the reason for that. Like I said, I think
Jeremy Adams and Joshua Williamson.
It sounds like some of the editors they've gotten in there now are actually care about trying to tell good stories. So you have like the Superman team that's really trying to do stuff. You got Scott that came in to really try to look, as much as I not as much of a fan of Absolute Batman and the Absolute Universe as other people are, I can at least applaud and recognize that it's working for a lot of people. But they're trying to do something different and tell fun stories. And that's the key. It's shocking how that worked. We told good stories. People realized that they started reading when, I want to keep coming back for this.
But that was a frustrating thing from the interview. Is like, Jim, you've been an exec here. You've been a co-publisher. You've been a chief creative officer for over a decade at this point. You might have had a part to play in this, not keeping up with the Joneses,
Yeah, no. Jim Lee right now is on autopilot so bad, just waiting to get to his retirement. And that's the bad thing. It's one of Marvel's biggest problems too right now.
Yeah, because they got about 6 of them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Daisuke then says, half the time they're doing the wrong characters with the wrong stories. If they want a detective crime book, release a Jim Gordon #1.
That's a good idea. I'd love that. Or a return to Gotham Central. I would like that even better.
Was it James Tynion that did a Joker book but ended up being a Jim Gordon book?
Yeah, that was his James Tynion's Joker book, pretty much. And then you had the like backwoods country people that were creepy.
I love that family. I thought they were going to be huge. I think they're all dead now.
I think so. It was back when I was still working with Batman News, and we had a lot of good connections with people at DC. I'd made a comment that Detective Comics should be like a anthology type book where you just take Gotham characters, and if you got a good writer or a good team that has an idea for a story but not an ongoing series, that's where those should drop.
Like a backup,
just let it rotate,
like a Jim Gordon or a Slam Bradley, backup feature. Like that'd be the perfect place for it. Detectives, that used to be Detectives Hallmark too.
Not even as a backup. Yeah, just like if you got a Batwoman story that's kind of like detective leaning, go there. If you got a Jim Gordon story, put it there.
Yeah. Like turning Flash into like a weird like sci-fi horror book was a terrible idea. Like I still have no idea what they were thinking on that one. Longrua, considering that you're living in Southeast Asia, your kids are spoiled for choice in hero, not only in manga but also takusatsu with like Rider, Sentai, and Ultraman. Yeah, interesting enough. When my wife was growing up, they didn't have like American cartoons. They had anime, and they were all dubbed in Tagalog. So all of her favorite heroes are like Ultraman and stuff like that. So my kids not only watch Batman, Superman, Spider-Man type of stuff, but they are definitely really into Ultraman.
Are there like heroes from China or Korea that we are totally ignorant about over here? That
I'm certain that there are.
Okay.
There are Filipino superheroes that they used to have a thriving comic book market here, and they're all kind of analogs of DC heroes, to be completely honest. But I don't remember all their names. But mostly it's Japanese anime that is influential here when it comes to heroes besides America. But then if it's Korean, it's going to be K-dramas that are super influential. And obviously that's a more recent phenomenon. But yeah, it's good that you get all the extra cultures in here. And certainly Japan and manga have thriving comic book markets and their own unique flavors for all that stuff. So they are very, very blessed. I will agree with that point of view. Secret Comics, we got HH and the fam in the house. Shout out to the Think Critical team. It's 2 degrees in New York City. Atari had no quality control. They folded. Nintendo did. Things did 180. Comics had quality control. No more. Editors today equal Australian Olympic breakdancing. I forgot about that lady. She was brilliant. What was her name, Dylan?
Ray Gunn, right?
Ray Gunn.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That was such a beautiful meme, but it only lasted like 3 weeks.
Yeah. It still pops up every now and then.
Oh, that was a great one. You know what popped up this week? I shared it with you guys. I had never seen the cat video. There's a Zoom call with a judge.
Oh, you had seen that before?
That was so funny. I hadn't seen that either, dude.
The voice of the guy, he sounds like Colonel Sanders, but he looks like a cat, and the mouth is moving. Where he said, "I'm not a cat. I'm willing to move forward."
It's a filter, and it's like the eyes and the mouth are moving.
Oh man,
there's one part. Yeah, there's one part where the cat eyes like shift over, but it looks like, oh shit, like I'm terrified. That's when I laugh every time. Man, 2020, as terrible as it was, gave us a lot of great just content to look back on. Oh my god, yes.
Fiery but mostly peaceful.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Mostly peaceful protests with all the flames in the background.
Yeah.
You can't make that up. That's beautiful.
The fashion choices while going grocery shopping, you know.
Oh yeah, people were taking like water bottles and
the toilet paper wars.
Helmets. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Fighting for toiletries.
Hopefully HH and the fam are keeping warm in New York City. 2 degrees. I know exactly how you feel, dude. It's super cold here as well.
We're up to a almost tropical 7 degrees in Pittsburgh right now.
Exactly. Doc's got it easy.
It's significantly better than the -6 I woke up to.
Yeah. I woke up at 0 degrees, and it's currently 13 degrees Fahrenheit here in Boston, Massachusetts, here in your morning drive.
Oh, you still got you get 2 digits.
Yeah.
We got Tommy from World War Comics. I invited Tommy on, but it was very last minute because I didn't realize Aaron's voice had gone until it was like 10 minutes to start working because Doc, I'm in recording. And he says, hope everyone is good. With the wife this morning, agree that DC should move to compact instead of off the trade size for new arcs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You can attack different markets with different products. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and I understand that, but
I'm not saying the stupid idea is like you got to identify what this market wants, and that's clearly what they want.
Yes,
and they
clearly
definitely
want the Tonkabon size, and for the bookstore market, and
plus $10 is so much better than spending $20 or $25 for a trade.
And you know what? I'm still spending $40 on DC Finest that come out. Like I got the Charles Moulton Marsters Wonder Woman that came out a couple, around Christmas. I'm like, yeah, dude, this stuff's good. This stuff is juicy. What you want a subversive comic? That is where it's at. Back in the golden age, that shit's great.
Keep the omnibus format for like bigger chunks of the classic, the whole run, and you also do it in the Tonkabon style. You just don't have a soft back, full-sized comic.
Dylan, are you ready to buy absolute Batman?
Absolute.
That's what I was thinking of when I first said that. I was like, what are the absolute editions going to be called? Those absolute books.
When the comic came, it said absolute
Mondo Absolute Batman.
it will likely be called Absolute Batman, the Absolute Edition. The same way that they did, like, Absolute Watchmen wasn't actually Absolute Watchmen. Same with Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's not Absolute Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's both of those are Crisis on Infinite Earths and
Watchmen,
the Absolute Edition.
Well, why don't you just take the joy and fun out of everything, Doc?
Well, but half the other ones, like Absolute Batman Hush, is Absolute Batman Hush. So sometimes they stick it in the front, sometimes they stick it in the back. I don't understand. They just like going both ways.
Maybe. I'm going with Absolute Batman. And I hope Tommy's having fun. I think he's at the Farmers Market. So we have been talking around this. We had the Jim Lee appearance on a podcast in Japan talking about the manga market, how it differs from US, and how they have this wide diversity of genres that really helps them out there. And he also points out, I guess, Dylan, that, in Japan, manga is considered literature. It's like, I don't know. It feels like in American comic books, there are plenty of comic books that are considered literature when you think about Dark Knight Returns or Watchmen or some of those bigger books. And DC is almost exclusively the ones that have done that.
Yeah, somewhat, but I get his point. He didn't make a whole lot of good points, but that one I do understand. I get that comics are a bit more stigmatized here compared to manga over there, but it felt like he was being like purposely aloof in there, where he's like, wow, why are they beating us so bad? Wow, I have no idea. Like, he was born yesterday. It's like there's so many different reasons why, like what we had pointed out today. And also one that I didn't even bring up was anime. Like, they do 1-to-1 adaptions, and that clearly gets so many people into reading manga. Like, if you're watching, you're on like season 3 of an anime, and then you're like, oh man, season 4, it's in production right now. And then you look and you see, oh, the manga's way past it. I can just go read the manga right now. I don't even have to go back and read what I missed because I watched it all. It's a 1-to-1 adaptation. You don't have that with American comics because everyone, once they get their hands on an adaptation, they're like, now it's my turn to do my version of these characters. Now it's my turn to do my interpretation of it. So you don't get like an adaptation of it that like never happens.
Their ego doesn't allow them.
Exactly.
Like Hollywood ego does not allow it.
Yeah, that and the points on your contract. You must get like creator points. And so if your idea hits pay dirt, you're going to get paid out. And I think that's the motivation where all this like secondhand manipulation in your adaptation comes from. It does.
Well, that's fine. Your job though at that point is just to adapt. If you want stuff that you're going to get points on, go do that. If you want a steady paycheck that is going to that you have, because they're 500 issues ahead in the comic book, that as long as you and people love the show, that that you're going to just be able to continue working on that for literally the rest of your career at a solid, good Hollywood level paycheck, just adapting things, and you barely even have to use your brain. And then if you want to moonlight and go do something else that you're going to get points on to get a big payday, go do that on the side. But just, you're here because I have at least 15 seasons. Even if the comic ends tomorrow, I got the next 20 years of my life straight up locked up, just adapting shit that somebody else already created. And I'm going to be making $200,000, $300,000 a year.
Yep.
Done. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but if I could sit there and go, okay, that's an easy way. It's not like your entire life is still, you don't have time for side gigs when you're just adapting shit. Maybe the animators don't. But you know what? They're not going to be creating their own animation anyway. They're going to be creating something that some writer made.
Yeah.
If they do it, it would work. You would get more people into the comics if you had that. But that's something I can't believe Jim Lee didn't even bring that up when he's just like, wow, why are they beating us so bad? It's like, that's a very big reason why.
It's about, it boils down to a good story told. And, it's just basically, here's your delivery, your delivery device. I was thinking about this earlier about making an allegory to like the Air Force, because Wes is from the Air Force, but There's like the B-2 bomber, it hasn't been changed structurally in 70 years. Like that's your delivery device, and a manga is also a delivery device. It delivers you a story, and so there's only so many ways you can improve upon it. And then you have something that's reliable and doesn't need tinkering with. And manga is like that. And also this, I get this joke that I'm a misogynist, and I'm going to go there right now. The big thing that's holding Jim Lee back with this illusion of diversity of titles is got to be where Western and American publishing is coming from. It's very woman-dominated, woman-focused, woman-oriented, from librarians and teachers who buy copy to fill up their library shelves to like upper management. You have this thing where like we forgot to tell stories for boys to boys. And that's where superheroes originally got their bread and butter. Now, over in Japan, they don't have that illusion of being selective selling to your marketplace. They are like, no, we sell girls comics. We have shoujo comics. We sell boys comics, shoujo comics. There's a whole spectrum in between. We tell superhero stories. We'll tell slice of life, fantasy. I was reincarnated as Dungeon Slime. That sells better than anything else or something stupid. I'm just going with it, but they're not under that illusion, that this forced illusion that we're lying to ourselves in American comics, that, you have this female forward paradigm from corporate, like Murray Javins, that's who Jim Lee takes his orders from in a way, and that sets the tone. And I think that's where HR comes from, and they're hiring the right people. So, and if you look over in like science fiction and fantasy genres too, it's all, a lot of things are women forward. We're trying to sell stories to women, and that's where comics is failing. They got to be a bit more maverick. They got to be a bit more trend setting. They got to remember, who their audience was in the first place and sell to them.
Yeah, it's one of those things like, by all means, have comics for women, but not at the expense of your guys, your boys. And that's where the problems come in. Like they found that there was an audience of women that had some interest in this. And instead of just saying, hey, let's explore this for that market, they just went, all right, we're changing everything. Everything is girl power. Here we go. I would even say too, just how you're telling the stories makes a difference. Like you can have strong female. We've had strong females. Go back to 80s and 90s. There are plenty of strong female comics. We just pretend like, that didn't exist. And then now we're going to push these females at the expense of the male characters as well. Like we got to talk down.
Not only
we got to make the males look like dumbasses.
Well, I mean, and not only that, but look at how most of these story arcs end. They win with the power of friendship. It's like watching My Little Fucking Pony.
Strange Tales number 5. You could pick it up this week. It's the power, literally saved by the power of friendship and diversity, and understanding.
I mean, it's like everybody learned the wrong lessons from Guardians of the Galaxy, where you win with a dance-off. What? No. They won. I mean, yes, they did win with the power of friendship, but they used a fucking elemental stone to make a guy explode. He didn't just feel bad and then leave.
Josh, are you one of those people that was upset with Stranger Things?
Dude, so no one kill me. I've never seen a single episode of Stranger Things.
Me neither.
So it's partially.
You guys can watch the first season and then act like the others don't exist, and you'll be like, "That's a really good show." That's what you can do.
When it first came out was right before I moved from California back to Texas, and I sat down like 2 or 3 different times to try to watch it, and I would get 30 to 40 minutes into the first episode, and something would happen. Someone was coming to look at the apartment or whatever it might be, and I just never got to it. And after like 3 attempts, it's like I'll wait. It's fine. So I'll probably get to it at some point. But yeah,
I got through 2 episodes, I think. I didn't get all the way through 2 episodes, but it wasn't all that interesting to me. But sounds like it's not worth it getting to the end. You like the end?
It's not.
I didn't mind it. I didn't hate the end. I didn't love the end. I thought that the whole like 5-minute long "I'm gay" and hug fest was stupid.
In the 80s? In the 80s.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. And then everybody hugs, and they needed to do that for reasons, because otherwise the bad guy would have told his friends, and if the bad guy tells them that he's gay, they all quit and leave and let the bad guy win. But if he tells them he's gay, everybody hugs it out and they win.
I don't know. In the 80s, they
kind of
would've been
retarded
like, dude,
logic.
stop being gay.
Yeah.
But not really like not be gay, but just stop talking about it.
Especially it made sense because they could have just had him like tell his mom and his brother and taken like 2 minutes, and then everyone would have been fine with it. It'd been like, oh, okay, whatever. But like he came out to like 20 people in this long, like 10, 15-minute scene, and it's done terribly.
Yeah.
It's almost like John Kent's Superman under the watchful eye of Jim Lee, coming out to Metropolis, coming out to Crypto, coming out to his grandparents, his mom, and then waiting for his dad to come back to come out to him too. He had like 7 coming out scenes.
Yeah.
And that was all under Jim Lee. I wonder why manga's beating U.S. Comics book so badly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they didn't take the story seriously.
No.
That would require them to take the industry that they're in seriously. And unfortunately, outside of a handful of people that have been there for a long time, I think Jim Lee still takes comics seriously, but most of the people below him do not. I've said it before, I'll say it again. None of the women that are in this industry, with a very, very small caveat, take it seriously as superhero comics. They're there to get some credits to move on to other things.
They also got to figure out a way to get their good comics in front of people, because I think, like we've been talking about, like DC's been pretty good for a few years now, but like their best-selling stuff is the Absolute line, but their main titles are better. Like Absolute Batman was like the 3rd best Batman book. Like Dark Patterns and Batman and Robin were much better than Absolute Batman, but don't sell even close to as well. It's like you got to figure out how to get your good comics in front of people and get them interested, because they have some good stuff. Like I think that's being overlooked. It's not like all of comics are just dog shit. Like they have some good stuff. It's just you got to get that in front of people.
Yeah, they only
Absolute's got all the hype.
Promoted Batman Hush 2, which ends up blowing up in their faces. They don't get it out on time, but they don't promote the Green Lantern book, or they don't promote Batman and Robin, which was the best Batman book.
Yep.
And they had that was the best Green Lantern book. They have a really good Superman book, which is better than Absolute Superman right now. Yep. And they never get the word out. They're highly prioritized on one segment of 6 books. But it is insane, Josh, that with just 6 books, DC was able to surpass basically Marvel's market share.
Yeah, no, I agreed. Look, they caught lightning in a bottle with Absolute, and the industry's all the better for it. I mean, there's no other way of putting it. So
unless you're not writing an Absolute book, and then you've been excluded.
Yeah, I'm mad.
Well, it's crazy they were able to do that though, because when I check like the weekly releases every time, it's like just a pile of Marvel comics, and it's varying on DC side. Like Marvel just vomits out books every week.
And they're higher priced.
Yeah.
A lot of times. But the big thing in there, Josh, was Jim Lee was saying, I need to figure out what I can learn from this. And certainly they've learned that the Tankobon format size is a winner.
Yeah.
It's done very, very well for DC's compact comics line.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of other things that he can learn. He definitely needs to learn about the digital strategy. I think that's the one thing. That's that other entry point that DC are absolutely missing right now, because their comic books are not going to become cheaper.
No. They need to figure something out. Like they let Comixology take the lead years ago, and then they just kind of relied on that and didn't try to do anything. And then now
it appears that Comixology might be dead.
Yeah, it's
after this round of Amazon layoffs.
When they did the Kindle like integration with it, it went terrible. I used to really like Comixology prior to that. Like they had a good like web reader and everything, and then when they just switched it all to Kindle, it's terrible.
I lost my library of like 90 collections that I'd paid for.
Dang, how'd you lose it?
You should still be able to go download them. You just can't purchase them.
Have you dealt with fucking Amazon's customer service, it's AI. It's not very fun to navigate. To get it back. I was like, whatever. Moving on with my life. I'm not using this thing anymore anyway. It absolutely sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the worst changes I've ever seen really executed in anything.
And why haven't they just like duplicated the success of the Shonen Jump app? I mean, like a couple of years ago, one of my best friends, his son had turned like 11 or 12. He was manga crazy, and he was like, this Shonen Jump app is the best thing. It's like $3 a month, and he gets so many titles, and it just keeps him occupied and happy. And I'm not suffering in my wallet. And I'm like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
You know, why can't that be done here? Well, it's weird. We haven't reinvented the wheel.
Well, there's a false assumption that if you charge $4 for like a Shonen Jump type app with all of DC or Marvel, whoever publishers comics, and you get them day of release the same way that you would in a comic book shop and all that stuff, that people will never spend money in comic book shops again, where it's been certainly shown through manga that manga sales exploded once there was a cheap entry point for it and people wanted to go and buy the physical editions of the books.
Yeah. It's crazy how they pick and choose what they want to look at from a like statistical standpoint. Because even people like you're always going to have your collectors, the people that want to get the physical copy for the sake of collecting. But we've seen proof that there are people that will read digitally one way or another because it's cheaper, and then go purchase. Even if they're selling the high Cs, I know people that will do that. Then go purchase the books that they liked, and then get the trades and collections and omnis and all that. So you're still going to have a market and audience there doing it. But make your entry level low enough that people don't feel like they're throwing out this huge gamble to see if something's good or not, especially when half your line is shit. You know, let them read it. You could do, DC could put out a digital app and do something. Look, it's Jim Lee. Like, go back to your hold the line at $2.99 mentality. have a system where you can read books for $2.99 a month, but make it your older stuff. And then you can do a higher tier if you want to read current new comics as they're coming out. Make that $10 a month or something.
Like a different subscription level, you know?
Yeah. Just
that's what they're doing now. If you get the highest level, which I think it might be $15, it's still 30 days before you get access to the new books.
Right. Yeah. So a month. But
yeah. Doesn't really make sense. You're not even a part of the conversation at that point.
Nope.
If there was a conversation about anything besides Absolute Batman.
Well, but that I was going to say, Absolute proved that there's still room for conversations here. So if you had a good book and people were reading it, I think if more people were reading Ghost Machine, that would be a much larger conversation right now too. I know it's a different, publisher, but still, get it in people's hands.
Yep. Ghost Machine is amazing. I wonder what's the first kind of publisher that maybe has really good established creators like a Ghost Machine and is like, nope, we're not doing floppies. We're going to go with an alternative format and see what happens. Because I have a sneaky suspicion that would be successful.
Yeah.
Well, Distillery didn't work.
Yeah, they went bigger and more expensive. I'm talking about smaller and cheaper, more disposable. But
bad idea could try to live up to their name. Everyone's going to go, that's a bad idea. They're going to do the complete opposite of what they started as.
That idea is kind of weird. They have good books, but nobody can get their hands on them for the most part.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, they finally started having good books. Like, they've been shit for a while. But Cul-de-sac, what are some of the other ones? Planet Death, pretty solid.
They got the Priest one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the Sacrament, it's something else.
Does Image have a digital app? Do they have a strategy? Are they doing something that the big two
They're
aren't?
probably just available on like the 15 different American digital comic apps that nobody's using right now. There's a bunch of them, but I don't even remember. I don't even know what they are anymore. I just know that Marvel has one, DC has one, and then there's like another 10 of them that you can use, and they all have different versions of the libraries that are available. So, Dilla, being the youngest member of the panel, the closest one to the Gen Z mentality, what do you think Jim Lee should be learning from manga, and what could be incorporated in?
Well, like I was saying when you were gone, I think the a big thing to get people in is they have anime. Like there's no equivalent to that for American comics. If you had something like that, that would get people into it because we talked about, getting the good comics in front of them. Like if you did, because I see some people be like, well, you can't do like an anime for American comics because it constantly switches writers and blah blah. It's like you can choose a run and just adapt that. You could do Claremont X-Men have so many episodes. You could do like Triangle Era Superman. You have a bunch of episodes you can adapt. Like you just choose a run, you do it, and it would work. And you would
Invincible's done that.
Yep, Invincible has done it. And it would work. And Invincible's gotten infinitely more popular after that. Like you could do it and it would work. It's just they got to commit. And that is one good point that Jim Lee made in there that he talked about how animation is definitely viewed over here as like a kid's thing when you advance to live action. It's definitely not viewed as like an all ages or just another form of storytelling. It's viewed as more of a kid's thing, but they could change that. They could do that.
I would even argue that is changing here because you have that age group that kind of grew up with anime that's still kind of, I mean, you got so many people that are adults now saying, hey, some of the best movies I've watched are anime.
Yeah, but I'm talking about more of, I guess, like where it's made. Like anime, yes, but like Western animation, it's all like the best anime. Man, the new Kung Fu Panda, it's like it's all kid. Like there's no like Western animation that's really made for mature audiences.
See, like League of Super Pets, right?
Yeah.
Maybe your kid gets into the dog or whatever. Where is he supposed to go? Where does the continuation of that story? It doesn't exist because they did an original story.
Yeah. DC had it for a little bit when they were adapting their classic stories for their like straight to video stuff, like with Under the Red Hood, Year One, All-Star Superman, and stuff like that. And then they're like, what if we did a shared New 52 universe? And then at the end, they're like, what if we did our own Infinity War and Endgame? It was so retarded.
The New 52 thing was weird because they did change everything.
It really changed everything.
It started off well with Flashpoint. Like the animated Flashpoint was good.
That was
better than the funniest cartoons I've ever seen in my life.
And they just went so weird. And I wasn't a fan of the art style either. Superman had like the smallest head. There's a lot of really weird stuff. It's like, just go back to what you're doing. Just go back to adapting the classics. Just do that. That's what works. Like from what they did with Hush. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they should just pick a period and just go with it.
Mm-hmm. They don't even have to pick a time period. Like you don't need to do connected universes. Just like adapt this, adapt that, like just choose whatever. Like, hey, this story's good. But it can be from anywhere.
The point with Invincible is once they do Invincible season 1, they release
for
the
TV show,
yes. And all of a sudden, like the sales for in Compendium 2 and 3 like blow up because people don't want to stop the story that stopped. They continue reading it on, and the same thing happens with anime.
Yes,
that that they directly align with each other, and you don't have to stop. You can go and find the original material, and it's basically faithful to it.
Yep.
And they could do something like that with the Nightfall. That's a 3-year fucking run of comic books that lasts for a long time. They are going to be making the movies, but imagine there's going to be some changes.
But also imagine how long, like if Marvel wanted to do like a really good anime like Daredevil, you could do like from Bendis to Brubaker to Charles Soule to Zdarsky. Like you have like something to follow there that's all really good for the most part. Like you could.
Marvel is much easier than DC.
Like there's plenty to choose.
Yeah. You could do. I mean, the good thing about that too is each issue being at roughly 20 to 24 pages.
Yeah, it works perfectly for an episode. Yeah,
works perfectly for an episode. On DC, because they've got more of where they got into like let's tell this arc. But you could still just do like you could have the line be like DC Comics presents. I know this is going to turn some people off, but if you're looking at just doing weekly episodes to put out wherever you're going to put them out, you can do the animation a little bit cheaper.
They don't really do animation like that anymore. It's always got to be in season stuff.
Something they need to learn to do the opposite of Invincible is just get voice actors. It's pissing me off. They're like, hey, we have this A-list celebrity voicing this person. I don't give a shit. Get a voice actor who's just as good. Put that money into animation. Stop giving it the... Oh, that pissed me off.
So supposedly that's what they did this season. They don't have anywhere near the number of celebrity voice actors. The animation looks a lot better for the new season.
They need to do that because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's definitely that correlation there, and even you can go into video games and stuff and get people or gateway drugs into this original source material, and I think a lot of people have a lot of good stuff with it. But I mean, DC is weird though, Josh, because a lot of their classic stories, especially Batman stories, are almost out of continuity.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, you can just do, like, if you want to do a line where you're like, hey, we're just adapting the comics to anime, you can consider that line like DC Comics Presents.
And here's the line that's what I'm saying. Just do the Scott Snyder run, dude.
I mean,
you could do the Scott Snyder run.
I mean, you could do Green Arrow, Longbow Hunters. Like, there's so much stuff that's out there. Just get big, long runs and just start putting them out. Like,
if you did an animated version of Chuck Dixon's Nightwing, you would capture a lot of Spider-Man fans. Like, you get a lot of people in. Like, that would get a lot more Nightwing fans. That's friggin' Superman Rebirth from Tomasi and Gleason works perfectly for the episodic format, because that was like all one-off stories. Like that would.
Yeah, and it spins off into Super Sons.
Yeah,
after you've established John. Unfortunately, you get to the Bendis era. I guess you got to cancel at that point.
Yeah, but you got a lot before then.
Yeah. Let's exhaust everything first, and then we'll go there.
One thing I will say about James Gunn, though, at least, like, he did talk a lot about the comics that inspired the stories. And you saw the sales go up. Like the Supergirl book, a lot of people have been buying it because he has not stopped. He hasn't shut up about that book. Like, that was on the top sales for the year because he kept talking about it. So that's another thing, is like when you do the adaptions, like, constantly talk about the comics, because at least they did that. Like at the end of every trailer, they'd be like, here's the stories that inspired it, and go check this out. And I like when they do that, like they did it for the Batman and they did it for Superman. They release like box sets of like, here's the stories that inspired it. Like, I do more of that. I think that's a good idea.
Absolutely. But yeah, there just needs to be a little bit more connectedness. Let people know that these aren't original ideas. These things have come from somewhere. But Marvel would have a much easier way to do it. Just start with Fantastic Four #1 and just do that. I think you would blow up Fantastic Four sales. Probably get the character, the team, even bigger than ever.
Yep.
Do we got anything else left to say about the Jim Lee conversation for the podcast?
He's willfully ignorant. That's it.
Yeah.
About the state of it. I mean, there's the Japanese have already, they got a great model. You know what I mean? They built a really good cargo plane to deliver the payload of story. And there is no need to reinvent the wheel or to even boggle it. All you got to do is copy it. In a way. Yeah, I think that.
Nerd says, I think the reason why people like the Tankobon size is because it's been standardized for decades. Trades, omnibuses have no standardization at all. You are correct. There's nothing more frustrating than when you get your collection, you put it up there, and all of a sudden the fucking trade dress is all screwed up. It's like, why is this not formatted?
You know how like you have DC and it has like, I have like a series of DC comics that has like 15 different logos. It's just each one's like, oh, we got the DC sticker peel logo, we got the classic logo, it's great.
The liquid drop one, yeah.
The logo will be in red, and all of a sudden one of them it's blue, and then it's back to red.
Invincible. Every the Ultimate Invincible hardcovers, all but one of them have the logo in yellow. There's one randomly in red.
Why? I think they're just trying to drive us insane.
I think it's chicks. A guy would never have chosen that. This is what you get for hiring women.
Yeah, you need standardization.
I'm joking. Maybe.
I'm not.
There's also lots of different sizes, obviously, in comic books. And you go to the manga section in a bookstore, and it's all beautiful and pristine, and it just looks nice. You go to the American section, and it's all odds and ends and different sizes. And
like all my Dragon Ball manga, even from Viz, like they have like a huge triptych that all the spines match up. And so if you have the entire collection, you get this huge like panorama of all the different characters.
Trophy
flying.
Is what you got.
Yeah.
Like, look at this beautiful thing that I did. You'd be proud of it. Display it for all your friends.
Yeah. Like, look at my nerd porn. Like, look at my shelves. Woo! You look like Josh.
Although Josh's looks a little bit more organized than most people's.
Yeah, I try to keep it. So I've got
Josh got a real nice
Firefly stuff.
Yeah.
I've got some Batman, like Nightfall into No Man's Land. Nightwing's right here.
Yeah, it looks like you pulled all the books out and you separate them by color.
I tried to just get stuff that, I mean, some of these were just, they packaged them well. So like Boom did a good job packaging the Firefly stuff. My Nightfall is the trade release that they did with the 3 bat symbols and the kind of ombre color scheme going on, because I liked the look of that. But yeah, I tried to pull the nicer looking stuff. The stuff that doesn't line up, I've got hidden because it pisses me off.
Then he says, also, Dylan, don't forget the video games are also abridged adaptations of the exact story that they tell in the manga. Naruto is the prime example.
Yeah, DC could have learned from that with Arkham Knight. If you're not going to have Paul Dini come back, why are you just doing a watered down Red Hood? Just do Under the Red Hood. That was so stupid having Jason Todd be the Arkham Knight. If they would have just done an Under the Red Hood video game, I think that would work much better.
Strange enough, Under the Red Hood, the adaptation and animation is
Amazing.
actually stronger even with the changes.
Exactly. I
Amazing.
agree.
Agreed.
Well, they got Judd Winnick to do it. Like they
Yeah,
got him to adapt his own comic. I think that's the way to go.
It's a lot cleaner too. I mean, as it like, what happened to Jason? Well, Ra's al Ghul put him in a Lazarus pit. We'd have no Superboy prime punches. I mean, that just cleans it up, and everyone can. Oh, I can understand that. Oh, wow.
It helps create a lore too for Jason moving forward.
The nerd says, then explain Sailor Moon, Sully. Manga still wins. Oh, he's muted. He's got that grin on his face and nobody can hear
Still
what he's saying.
going.
Conveniently
going.
muted because he can't make a case. Heal
True.
Sully. We got it.
Are you going to unmute yourself, Sully?
I think this might
Sully,
be
you're
the
still
best
muted.
points that Sully's ever
sorry,
made.
I have to ride on mute, or else you'll hear me farting and chewing. Thank you. Sorry. Sailor Scouts at the cons are always my favorite. To see like the whole bunch of them, just it's cute, and it's for girls too. So why not? That explains Sailor Moon. Chicks.
Yeah, but he just stuck it to you.
Kind of did he? Or
And he says, you guys should look into Common America. I love Common America. I was wearing my Common America shirt yesterday. I think I recorded a few videos with it, but Mark and Tim are great.
I'm going to dip into that with the crossover with Arc Athena. Eric Canetti's got something coming up about that eventually, and I'm a huge Arc Athena fan. So that's going to be, I guess, my gateway drug into Canon America.
Yeah, Common America's done some really cool stuff. They've been able to expand their audience and get it in front of people in a way that a lot of other crowdfunded books haven't done. So definitely proud of those guys. They've worked very, very hard. Been talking to Mark and Tim for years. What were you saying there, Doc? I feel like I cut you off.
No, I'm good.
But yeah, everyone should be looking into Common America. Those guys are great. And they deliver everything on time. And finally, he says, I wish DC would hire a novelist lore expert and have them painstakingly add proper continuity to all the issues using a database AI if needed.
And unfortunately, his name's Mark Waid.
Yeah, they just kind of did that with the new history of the DC universe, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And Mark Waid's actually he's a phenomenal historian of DC lore and continuity. I mean, there are very few people that know.
Such a phenomenal historian that now Diana's mother was the first Wonder Woman.
That's been done before, hasn't it? I mean, Hippolyta was.
That's a fucking retcon, dude.
Wasn't
not
that
the
like
way
30,
it happened?
They did that like 30
It's a
years ago as
retcon.
well.
As a retcon.
Yes.
She's not the first one.
It was retarded then, it's retarded now.
Yeah, DC used to actually have this role. And the guy had been there, I think, for like 28 years or something, where his whole thing was kind of like helping maintain continuity, or if people needed it, he could go to it. But he was also like in charge of just historical type stuff, like keeping track of logs. And they got rid of him, I guess, like early 2020s, I think.
Probably the Bloodbath. They had 3 big layouts. Marvel used to have the same position. That used to be Tom Revort's job.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's moved on.
It was a huge miss getting rid of that guy.
Who's the dickhead that says continuity and lore is the boil on the storytelling's ass or something? There's a lot of people that just don't like continuity anymore. I think it might be Simon Kinberg. I think is what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, fuck that dude.
But continuity is key, man. It's super duper important. If you don't have good continuity, if you don't have laid out lore that people could invest in, why are they coming back?
Yep.
They don't. They come for one story. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, here's the thing. For anybody that thinks continuity is a problem, guess what, bitch? Even your story has continuity, even if it doesn't relate to anything. If it doesn't have continuity internally, you have a shitty story too.
Great examples this week is Iron Man, where he's like, "Oh, I feel so bad. It's my fault that all these people got kidnapped." And it was like, I don't know. A few pages earlier, you said you didn't know who that guy was or why he was getting the award. What part did
then
you
he
play
was
here?
reminded. Perhaps
He was
reminded.
reminded he had an idea.
He was reminded that he had an idea offhandedly a number of years ago that someone else, without his knowledge, ran with, did something with, picked people for, but somehow that's his fault.
Yeah. We didn't talk about this Iron Man book. I did not like that part at all, Josh. What did you think? It did make sense to me.
Yeah, Drew and I talked about this, and I told him, like, I'm so torn on this because in some aspects, it's what I said earlier. I felt like we got a Tony Stark or a version of Tony Stark that feels more true to the Tony Stark we know. And I get it's the movie version, but it's still closer than what we've been getting. And I'm not mad about doing the movie version because a lot of people will know and recognize that. So in the grand scheme of things, it's a smart idea. It's better than the shit that we've been having with Emma Frost and Hellcat and all that crap that we got for years. But the story just wasn't good. And then even like, to me, they even made Madame Mask look kind of cool. But then once they actually started getting into the plot, it just didn't fully pan out like it should have. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So I don't know. It's a mixed bag. I was hoping for more from Joshua Williamson, but
it's not Inglorious X-Force dog shit bad.
Correct.
But it's nowhere close to G.I. Joe or Superman.
Exactly.
Very few comics can be as bad as Inglorious X-Force. I agree. Yeah.
Didn't you say it was good and then okay? Which one was
I said it was good and okay, and then Dylan, let me have it with his phaser of logic.
Because you can't be both.
I'm just using words, man. I'm trying to be positive.
Yeah. Dylan,
words have no meaning because I'm trying to be positive.
It seemed like you were a little frustrated with Iron Man as well when we reviewed it for the Geek Fix this week.
Yeah,
the Hot Note podcast.
It was not very good. I was like everyone else here. I'm a fan of Joshua Williamson. I think he's really pulled together after he stretched himself thin and like regrouped and came back. He's been really good. He's been really consistent. But this was just not it. It was not a great book. It's man, just I didn't really care what was going on. It didn't really make sense, especially that ending with it made no sense when he calls Cap. He's like, all right, let's meet at a normal spot. And Cap's like, no, meet me in New York. He's like, okay. And then it turns, it's like, we've got to kill the Iron Man. It's like, why is this happening in issue 1? Why is this? Because it turns there and it's like, what, the Fantastic Four's there, or Sue and Reed are there. And and Captain Marvel's there.
Was
They're
that
all like,
supposed to be like
Norman Osborn's
the new
there.
Illuminati?
That's
like,
what
I don't
think.
so.
Yeah.
Norman's there.
Like, why are they all? Yeah.
So you were right, Doc. Spider-Man was there because Norman is currently Spider-Man.
Yeah. I thought it might have been. I don't know who the dude in the hoodie was.
I think it's Shang-Chi, right? With the dark hair.
I thought it was Peter Parker.
But Peter, isn't he in space still?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. Didn't you read Miles Morales 42? Peter was in his spacesuit helping out Miles, and I'm like, he didn't even get home and amazing yet, has he? I'm like, how is that? What the heck?
McDonald, this is my takeaway, and the thing that probably I didn't like about it. When I read his G.I. Joe, I'm like, this dude fucking loves the comic and he loves the cartoon. When I read Superman, I'm like, this dude loves Superman. When I read Iron Man, I was like, this dude really liked the Iron Man movies.
Yeah. But I don't know how much of that is him and how much of that is Marvel editorial being like, hey, we do this.
It felt
this is who Iron Man is to us now.
Yeah.
They even gave you like a little okey doke swerve on you thought you were getting the original Iron Man reveal from the movie. It turns out it's a fake one.
Yep, it's somebody else under the mask. interesting choices. You know, it's like, again, I'm so torn because I don't think it's necessarily good, but it's still a step in the right direction from the shit we've been getting from Marvel. So it's like, okay, like these things, yes, these things, no, stop. But I genuinely think it's still editorial, just kind of like running the muck. And I think they got Joshua Williamson, knowing that he would pull some people in, and they managed to make a decision that was a decent decision, but it wasn't what it needed to be to get Tony back where he needs to be.
Did you think it was better than The Kids Are All Fight?
Yeah, because I hated that book. I found those
really
kids
bad.
so freaking obnoxious, man. And then at the end, it felt pointless. Like,
Yeah.
All
The kids
these
were
new-
annoying. John was an idiot. Yeah, it was.
yeah. It was another
I got heat vision, you know.
Ooh,
God.
But
you
I
know
need
that I got
Cassandra
free
Cain to help me find the kids.
uh-huh.
I've got all
Hey.
these powers, but I can't use them for anything. I need to ask the martial artists of the Bat family for the detective skills.
You know,
Yeah.
you know what power they really need to give John? Gaydar.
Ooh, super Gaydar.
Super Gaydar. He can tell who likes it in the butt from 500 miles away.
Or
think
can
he has
can't you say
another way
something
of
nice,
finding
like
that
pick out
out.
antiques?
He's got his X-ray vision, and then
For
certain people
antiques.
show up rainbow colored.
I'll
So
give
he's like,
Josh or Jeremy this. At least it wasn't another book about him being gay,
yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
which is
But
like the first book in like 4 years.
Yeah. I would be
Basically.
curious because we know that editors come back and rewrite stuff after writers write it. I'm curious
Uh-huh.
if an editor did
It's
that.
Will Moss's book, and Danny Chasm is the assistant editor. So, I mean, take that as you will, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
Will Moss is pretty much one of the better Marvel editors, would you say? I mean, in the morass of different Marvel editors out there. that
Of their
aren't that
senior
good.
editors, he's probably the one that is the least offensive.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because it's him, Nick Lowe, Tom Revort, and Jordan White. So I don't know, man. I didn't love it. I thought that was the worst look I've ever seen on Captain America. The floppy hair must go.
Uh-huh. I like Iron Man armors. I like different armors. I have all my life. So it starts off, he's in the Mark 72 Mysterium armor. And I'm like, how? I mean, like, didn't that armor get destroyed somewhere around the Spencer Ackman run and around McKay's Avengers as well? So I was a little confused on that. Then you have
I'm
Tony.
confused.
Yeah.
I'm confused on how anyone didn't realize that was a fucking armor as a motorcycle.
Well, that's the one part I liked, was because it reminded me of, like, talk about anime. Remember Robotech from 40 years ago back in the day? It like transforms.
I'm fine with it. It's the flying Akira cycle,
Mhm.
but how anyone in that book didn't automatically know, oh, he just turned his armor into a fucking motorcycle.
Well, because now you have the reveal. You know, it's set up and payoff, and it's just like,
So everyone's retarded in the comic. All right.
Everyone
much.
is retarded.
Yeah,
That
everyone
shield
is.
agent lady's like, yeah, we can't have you having a suit around because it could be dangerous because there's so many people. Like, well, there's so many people and Tony Stark's there. So if someone attacks, what, you and your Glock are going to defend them? What?
exactly. And everything is spoiling this, because here we go. Melinda May. Here's that shield character. And I got this variant cover because I thought at first glance, I thought it was Natasha. So I thought I was getting a Black Widow cover, and there are two variant covers for Melissa May, and it's kind of like there's I
think it's Melinda.
Melinda, yeah.
May.
It is.
Thank you. And there's definitely like a rescue type chick armor, like in the background of like the other variant cover. So you get that kind of here as well.
Why is she a ginger and not Asian?
I don't.
Melinda
is
May's
Asian in the
fucking
book.
Asian.
Yeah, she is Asian in
Yeah.
the book, but
Salon
the cover.
perm Ogilvy. No,
No idea.
I had no idea.
So,
But
it
yeah,
is
she's-
what it is. This is what American Texan says. Iron Man 1 was like The Force Awakens. Not much new, just echoes of something familiar. And I'm okay with that after the garbage we've had the last decade. Iron Man
That's
has
kind of
been in
where
a
you and
terrible place.
I think that's where you and I landed on this, Wes.
Certainly better than Dan Slott or Spencer Ackerman or Christopher Can't Write Well.
Oh.
Low bar.
Yeah.
But Iron Man's been really bad for a long time. The Bendis run was awful. Fraction was really terrible on it. Kieran Gillen was really bad on it. Tom Taylor was terrible on it. Nobody's had a good feel for Iron Man for...
Oh,
shit, who's the last one?
So you mean a bunch of idiot commies don't like the guy with a lot of money? Shocking.
He's also got ideas, but yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, idiot and commie, smart guy with money.
But here's the big question,
see how
Doc.
that
You are going to your comic shop. You don't have a pull list, but you are getting G.I. Joe. You're getting Real American Hero. You're getting Spider-Man. You are picking up some new comic books, which you have been abstaining from. Will you be picking up Iron Man 2?
No.
Josh, are you going to pick up Iron Man 2?
I mean, yeah, because we're covering it weekly, so I'm back to where I'm picking up a lot of stuff because we're covering it. But if it weren't for that, I know I'd probably trade Wade.
Yeah. How about you, Dylan?
I'll check it out just because I think Williamson could turn it around. Not a great first issue, but
You
I
give
like
people
Williamson,
3
so
issues?
yeah, I'll check it out and see.
Sully, you going to be picking that bad boy up?
No, I'm not picking up issue 2. Nah, I'm not feeling it.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's not a bad comic by per se, but it's also not a good comic.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where the problem is with this. It could have been a good comic, but it's not. And I don't see where it's suddenly going to turn around. We reviewed this. Is it going to be up on the channel?
Yeah, it'll be up tomorrow.
Or is it members only?
No, it'll be up tomorrow.
Okay. All right. But yeah, I mean, look, so I don't want to get too much into it, but it's just underwhelming.
Yeah. Kind of bland. Let's talk about some books that are not underwhelming and that people should be talking about. You know what we forgot to talk about? Sal Buscema, I think, passed away this week, correct?
I think it was a
Legend.
couple of weeks. I think it was like a week ago, or like
Yeah,
it was
last-
on
last
Monday.
week.
but I don't think it got really noticed.
That was pretty
until
crazy. That was
Monday.
very, very sad. Obviously, a big name in the industry.
89. What a life. Thank you, Sal, for everything you gave us. Seriously.
Yeah. So we definitely want to acknowledge that. And we can talk about some comic books that we would like to recommend this week. Josh, thank you so much for returning to the fold. And I know you got weekends to work and stuff like that. What books are you recommending in this very interesting week?
I mean, I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream, but I think there were a couple of indies that really knocked it out of the park. So Conan's still doing it for me. G.I. Joe, I thought was a lot of fun. I saw some people complaining about G.I. Joe because they're like, oh, it wasn't as good as it's been. Well, yeah, you just wrapped up a like massive bombastic arc. Like, yeah, like give yourself the palate cleanser. Roadblock. It was a fun issue. And they brought in a new artist that I thought did a pretty solid job. So keep him around. Farrell, I'm continuing to love Farrell. This one went balls to the wall in the last few pages, just taking people out right and left. And I'm trying to think of what else may have come out this week. Hold on. Look, Infernal Hulk. Okay, I'm loving it, but for the love of God, why do we have a fill-in artist on the 3rd issue of this title? Like,
it's not a fill-in artist. Kev Walker has been doing all the scenes with Bruce and Betty.
At least Kev Walker's good.
No,
because Incredible Hulk, we had some not great.
Fair. No, I'll agree with you there.
Fill-in artist.
I feel like they should have just come in and let Nick Klein do the first 6 issues. Like, just make a point. Like, because they came in so strong, and I do think it's just a drastic difference in their art styles, but not bad. It's just different. And I will at least applaud them for saving him for this kind of Bruce and Betty kind of focused issue, but it also feels like it was made that way for him to come in and take over on art for an issue. Just, I don't know. It's still good.
I thought Infernal Hulk was pretty good. I was shocked that I liked it so much.
Again, I liked it. I'm not shitting on the book itself. I just wish they would have.
Feels like he defecated right on PKJ.
I wanted Nick Klein for at least 6 issues straight. That's all.
That is never going to happen.
No, I know. It's hopeful wishes, but yeah, I think that was pretty much. I'm trying to cruise through. Yeah,
is there anything else people need to know about with the Popeye culture? Maybe some other appearances or stuff that you're doing?
I mean, hey, just Tuesdays and Thursdays, come check us out. So like I said, Tuesdays are typically a rotation of books. We'll at the beginning of each month, we recap the previous month and give our top picks for that month. And then Thursdays, we always have floppy drop. So that's where we talk about that week's releases. But yeah, come hang out. If you want more nerd talk, we do nerd talk. So.
And Kalichi says, why is fill an artist even a thing? Scheduling?
Typically.
Yeah.
Well, it depends.
Yeah.
Either scheduling or money. So
yeah,
Marvel's gotten so cheap that they will pick a good artist for like a 5 or 6 issue run, knowing they can't actually afford that artist for the entire run. So they'll have them do like 2 issues, then another artist step in that's cheaper for 2 issues and let the original artist finish it out. I think it's such a bad strategy, but
yeah,
it is.
A lot of artists can only do 1 book in a month. So if you got them on an ongoing, if they want to go take a vacation, you're going to have to get a fill-in artist. And then some artists are notoriously a little bit slow. And I think Nick Klein is one of those. Gary Frank, great artist, is notoriously slow because he's got so much detail in there.
So you have a lot of different artists and styles. You got people like Bagley and John Romita Jr. that can do 18 issues a year. You got people like John Byrne back in the day that he could pencil 2 monthly books. And write
800 books.
Yeah.
Dan Mora is really fast. He's one of the only current artists that is legitimately fast.
Him and Hayden Sherman.
Yeah, but I don't think Hayden Sherman's very good.
Yeah, but he can do 2 books in a month. He has been.
Well, yeah, I can. Man,
his work on Dark Patterns is great. I won't take Hayden Sherman's slander, dude. What he did on Dark Patterns was incredible. I don't think his style fits Wonder Woman too well, but Dark Patterns, his work was really, really good.
I could stick figure 7 books a month, but it doesn't mean
that work is not stick figuring, not even close. What he did was so
regardless, but then you get, you have a lot of the Kuberts were notorious for being able to just knock out a book a month. They were like clockwork. It didn't matter if they were taking vacation. Adam and Andy, both of them would, and then you'd end up with, Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, who needed, especially later, a couple years into their career, they started being really quick, and then they got really slow. Mark Silvestri was able to do like 18 books a year when he was on X-Men and Wolverine. But now, I mean, how long did it take him to do that Batman Joker thing? Like 10 years?
6 years. Sometimes 6 years. Yeah. That's what it is. It's some people just need more time. And certainly money plays a part in it too. All right, Sully, you recommend any books this week?
I got 6 books. I got 6 books from my local comic book shop this week. Let's start with the least of the worst of the week has got to be Iron Man. I think I've given this a 6.0, 6.5, and I'm not getting issue number 2. But, I checked it out. Let's see. I got Savage Dragon 278. Fun book. This one's kind of a meh issue, but it's still, I love, Eric Larson's art in this. I love how he's using characters from the public domain. I love splash pages like this, just full of superhero action.
We have to be very careful with that book because it might put you on Megan's list.
What's that? I have no idea.
Not good.
Oh, okay.
It's not a good thing.
Really?
Sir.
Oh, tell me about it later.
No, yeah.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Green Lantern 31. Again, a Met issue, but I've gotten every single one. I still love Jeremy Adams, but it was a little boring, to be honest. And I'm looking forward to the next arc, especially bringing Kyle Rayner back with Omega Bam Man. I think it's going to be fun, and it's gonna, me. I like stupid and fun in my books. I thought that Joshua Williamson, Superman 34, I thought it was really good. The Eddie Barrows art is pretty good. There was a couple of pages here that were kind of clunky, but overall, I mean, I like Eddie Barrow's look, and I love Superboy Prime. I got 3 Joshua Williams books this week, and so I got G.I. Joe number 18. I got this nice variant cover with Chameleon. I'm usually a sucker for a Baroness cover, but no Baroness cover. But I saw this and snagged her up. And Infernal Hulk number 3. I mean, this was a really interesting issue because I love Betty Ross's role in this, and this like grief and angst she has about being depowered. And I think it's an interesting thing because you have this strong woman character and you took her power away from her, and she's missing it and she's regretting it. And she hates being human in a way. And so, and Bruce and Betty are dealing with that. And like, what happens when Bruce has to confront the fact that, no, you ultimately have to help out with what's going on in Hulk right now. You have to probably try to get back into Hulk. Are you ready to do that, Bruce? And loving it. Thank you very much. And everyone in the chat and everyone on the panel, Aaron Sparrow, if you're listening, I hope you feel better. And I want to see you next week, buddy. Thank you.
Nerd says, there's a Japanese artist that I know that did this. How do you guys feel if artists had their own local AI trained exclusively on their work and use that to produce comics faster?
It's against it. Maybe if you wanted to ink yourself, maybe have AI ink yourself, possibly. But
people been doing this and doing finishes with their art for a while. I think as long as you tell people what you're doing and not, and they know that you are using AI to finish your work or enhance it, then you do you. But I don't know. It is the way of the future. We're getting AI movies. We got Darren Aronofsky's AI American Revolution thing coming up.
Yeah, I would dip out. And honestly, if comics get to the point where they're using that much AI, that it's basically just you knowing how to prompt, I'm sorry, I'm not even remotely interested. I will be done.
Completely agree.
Yeah, it's a pretty big turnoff, but I think it is something that we're all going to have to deal with in the not too distant future, like maybe today. Because I think there probably are a lot of artists that are using AI to enhance their images and work.
Yep.
Just run it through a filter.
I'd say any artist who is, let's just say, leveled up significantly in the last couple of years, I don't trust that they're doing their own art.
Yeah. But I think if you are going to do it, you have to be honest about it. You can't hide the fact that you are using AI to use it. And I understand that it's a local AI. It's not hooked up. It's not ChatGPT and one of these large language models that you've got it localized and it's only been trained on your own art. So you could, in theory, keep the soul or heart of what you've been doing. But
you're not drawing it anymore.
At least part of it. I wonder if you do the roughs and layouts and then maybe it finishes it for you. Something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, I get it. It's not your art anymore.
Yeah, I think you got to be honest with it. But it's definitely something that we will all be dealing with in the for the foreseeable future. All right, Dallin, you going to recommend any books?
Yeah, I have 5 recommendations for this week. Infernal Hulk, like we already talked about, it was great. Bruce and Betty issue was really cool seeing. I love seeing the difference of how Bruce and Betty view their powers, because one's like, this is how I feel strong. The other views it as a curse. It's like, man, I just want to be a person working a 9 to 5. Also, great moment between Bruce and Tony at the end. I love that.
Yeah.
That was so good. Some great dialogue there.
That's a nice Filmato cover you got. That's a nice. I almost got that variant cover, but I was like, this or Nick Klein, because I think Filmato does great covers. You just can't draw interiors.
Yeah, his interiors on Star Wars are not it. Punisher, the end of the Red Band is really good. I liked it a lot. It's again, like the largest Punisher of all time is in this comic. He is a hulking monster, but it's so good. People getting run over, torn apart, bloody good time, and it's going to set up the ongoing. So Punisher is really good. I really like the ending of that. It paid off exactly what it had set up, which I was really happy with. Absolute Batman. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. Got some good character work here. I like the little relationship that Bruce and Diana have. I like it. We get some good character moments, sweet stuff. And Nick Tragotta gets to do some more like some more nuance here, and not quite as bombastic, which was cool to see him do. And he pulls it off well. And new issue of Superman was pretty good. I liked it. I love the ending. I love what we get with Superboy Prime. I like his friendship with Lois. It's been pretty good. I enjoyed Superman. And then, of course, G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe was good. Like we already talked about, this is more of a breather after the huge Dreadnought War, but still really good, and it's worth checking out.
Very nice. You got any videos or video game streams that people need to know about?
I did do a video earlier in the week talking about what we talked about today, which was the whole Jim Lee, his comments on manga and all that. So I did a video on that. So check that out.
Yeah, if you want some more further exploration of that, definitely go over to check out The Real Comic Book Gamer. Last but not least, Doc, are you recommending any new books this week?
Well, I'm going to recommend that all the listeners and the wonderful folks in the chat, as well as anybody that listens to this later, go and check out our review of Iron Man #1 by Josh Williamson on Monday. Should be a fun interview. I gave a little bit of my thoughts here, but you'll get to see a lot more. But I did not go to the comic shop this week. So I'm going to bet that I would probably recommend G.I. Joe, but I haven't bought it yet. Instead, I'm going to just recommend. I actually recommended a lot of new comics last week. So this week, I'm going with all old stuff. Claremont, LaRocca, Fantastic Four. This is following the Alan Davis run that was Heroes Return, not Heroes Reborn, that followed up Heroes Reborn. And you know what? Salvador LaRocca, back when he used to draw and when he had an inker, before he started tracing and not having inkers, fucking amazing. I love his art style. It's got a very old Carlos Pacheco vibe to it too. Then we were talking earlier about artists that are not very fast at all. And Art Adams is kind of the definition of that. He was doing the covers for these classic X-Men. And I just look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? Those first 24 issues of X-Men, classic X-Men, whichever one you want to call it, with the Art Adams covers were just dope. And then this holds a little bit of a special place in my heart because it's one of the first giant sized books that I ever bought. And I mean, it's the X-Men versus fucking Frankenstein. Look at it. It's just cool. I mean, X-Men versus Frankenstein. And then finally, you know what? We've talked about this run for a little while. Uncanny X-Force. I haven't really recommended any issues. This is issue 15. I really liked it. This is during the Dark Angel saga. This is about the midpoint of it, and it's actually a really good issue. Because the Dark Angel saga was so fucking good. So yeah, Uncanny X-Force, especially those first 18 issues, were exceptional. Whenever it starts getting to the Otherworld stuff a little later in that first volume, I don't like it as much, but it's still good. But the whole first 18 issues of this series is unbelievably good. So those are my recommendations for this week.
Well, very, very nice. Hope everyone is ready to enjoy the Royal Rumble. We've got a UFC pay-per-view. We got football next weekend, right, Dylan?
Yep, we got the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl next weekend.
Go Pats.
We got some big things popping. Definitely thank you very much to Josh for joining us, coming back. And then hopefully Aaron feels better soon. He wasn't feeling it today. So we'll see him next week. Everyone have a great weekend, and we will see you around.
Go home.